I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Oh, I love our Fridays, man. Fridays are the best.
Friday.
Yeah, Fridays are great. Except the weekend's a ball buster for me, but that's every weekend.
It's going to be nice and hot, too.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toasty.
Yeah, it's going to be in the 90s, close to 100 all week.
It was beautiful this morning walking the dogs.
Oh, my God, it was
a little
gorgeous.
breeze.
There's nothing better when those storms were nasty. When they blow through and it's like that clean air, you get outside, you go, oh, my God, it's nice. You breathe, and then, the crap comes back.
Did you see Bro's house?
Yeah.
Lost a big tree.
Yeah.
Did it hit his house or something?
No, I don't think so, but it hit the backyard stuff. I think there was a swing set. Horrible.
Torn up.
Yeah, all over. In fact, my buddy was just telling me he was on his way to the airport, and he's like, dude, he goes, there's trees everywhere down. It was nuts. I was driving back from the shore. I had that meeting yesterday, World Cup meeting, and I'm driving back from the shore, and it got dark, like apocalyptic. And the next thing you know, the sheets of rain start to fall. Like, when they're blinding, I literally put on my hazards while I was driving.
Yeah, dude, that's the worst. It's scary.
Yeah, because you can't see
anything.
I can't see in front. You just go, and then when you pass an overpass, and like for 3 seconds, you're like, oh my God, right? And then all of a sudden,
yeah, man.
I mean, the amount of rain, the water that fell from the sky.
Dude, you are so did that overpass break? And it feels like it's an eternity, but it's just like 2 seconds.
You're like, oh my God.
You can just breathe for
and then that comes back. And you're like, white knuckle.
You're like, hoping someone's got their hazards on in front of you. You hope you can see some kind of light or something. Someone breaks.
Always some jerk off that's flying.
Yes, usually in a larger SUV.
And you're going, dude, come on,
just
man.
pouring water on your windshield.
Like, listen, I'm all about, I get you got, but there's no reason why you got to be like going, like flying in that weather. Like, come on, bro. Terrible. And then there's tornadoes. What is up with the tornado? Like, all of a sudden,
what is up with the tornado?
The NBA Finals, we'll get to that, and the big showdown that's going to happen at Citizens Bank Park tonight. Phillies Mets, baby. Which I cannot.
Someone got flutters? Because I got flutters. I told you we'd have them. I'm going down tonight.
You're right.
Flutters, baby. First place.
I thought of you because of that. I got flutters.
Yeah.
I do. I always bitch because this time of the year, there's nothing that gets you like jumping. You know what I mean? Get you jumping. Phillies Mets for first place gets you jumping.
Phillies Mets for first place. Mets are leaking.
Yeah.
Mets are stinking. Right? I don't even think they have a pitcher tonight, do they? Are they calling someone up for a spot start tonight?
Tidwell's pitching tonight.
Tidwell, exactly.
Yeah. No,
they were hoping they could bring up Frankie Montas. You see his stats in AAA on his rehab assignment?
Yeah.
4 starts. He's got an ERA of 13 with a whip of 2.
He stinks. Yeah, he stinks. I mean, this is amazing series. And the beauty is that you look at this is where the Phillies are so dangerous, right? I know the bats are a pain in the ass, and you still you worry about the bullpen. Although Kerkering, let's give Kerkering.
We're seeing the evolution of a closer.
Yeah, listen, you brought some great points about him early about the eyes. The eyes don't lie, right? And his eyes were big as saucers. They were doe eyes.
Yep.
The eyes of a doe, the baby deer. And it was like, oh, and you're like, oh my God. And now the eyes have suddenly, the brow is furrowed.
Yeah.
And he's now a closer.
Like the Bohm error could have rattled him 2 months ago.
Yes.
But no, he was just locked in.
No, locked in. But my point is, I get the lineup could be frustrating. And I know the bullpen, they need another piece. Like, we get it. But their starting pitching is so freaking good.
He did innings yesterday.
I mean, and by the way, no doubt he goes 9 if this was 10 years ago. right? Like he's motor and he's pitching the contact. It's brilliant, brilliant. It was funny. My man Tasty K Tom. Shout out to Tasty K Tom because he's laid up, man. He got cut again.
Damn.
And we got to get him in here. Like,
Yeah.
we need him to heal quick.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a big NOLA guy, and he's like, dude, he goes, my guy, he goes, he's a 5th starter right now. I'm like, yeah, like he comes back, he's a 5.
Yeah, he's got to work his way up. But I am anxious to see arrested.
Yeah,
Nola.
I mean, no, listen,
I give him till
think about this,
another month.
Like, think about, yeah, you don't need to rush him.
Yeah.
Like the beauty of their rotation is that you're not sweating. The one guy who 8 innings for his whole career, right? You don't miss him.
It's wild.
It is wild.
Because, the Mets put 2 pitchers on DL or IL
and they
in the last week.
Yeah. And they fall apart. That the Phillies could go, their rotation is sick. So tonight we got Wheels on the mound. Phils, Mets, showdown. Both teams 45-30. This is the showdown of the NL East. Phillies, Mets. This is awesome. Leading up to Sunday Night Baseball.
Oh, every game's on national TV. And it's the summer solstice.
Tomorrow's a Fox Day, right?
Yeah, it's the summer solstice. We got this matchup on the summer solstice. Huge day, dude. First day of summer. Let's go.
Oh, today's the solstice. Okay. That's the longest day, right?
So it's bittersweet. Because as the pagans will say, we go into the darkness tomorrow. Days get shorter. Today's the longest day.
Yeah, but you got plenty.
And the days get shorter.
I like the short days. I'll be honest with you. I don't mind because I equate the short days with football.
So speaking of football and the solstice, the pagans, you usually do bonfires to honor the sun.
Okay.
So this is a candle I got years ago when we were trying
let me see
the
this.
first Super Bowl run
awesome.
with Foles. We did a show. Do you remember doing a show at the Link?
Nice looking.
At the Link, and you had a witch doctor.
Yeah, I had the witch doctor.
I had this candle made at Harry's Occult Shop.
Like
I only burn it. So today's the day to burn it. You set an intention.
And
we'll burn it. I got a lighter. I'm ready to
let's
go.
do it.
Yeah.
All right. This is for the Phillies.
No, this is only an Eagles candle. This is for birds only. But we could set an intention for a healthy, successful season.
Yeah. Repeat.
The candle.
The rerun.
The rerun. I love it. The rerun candle.
All right, it's lit.
Put it over here. I like the smell of that thing.
I don't know. There's a bunch of weird oils and herbs.
I like it.
It's all magic.
I like the magic.
All right.
I'm down with it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Who melted down the wax? The pagan? Or did someone make that?
No, at Harry's Occult Shop.
You got it from the cold
I went
shop.
to
I thought you got all the stuff.
No,
and
I
then
went to
made
the
it.
coldest.
Okay.
He only specializes in intentional candles.
Does the pagan say a little prayer or spell?
She's got a whole altar, dude.
Yeah.
With candles and spells and
Yeah, that's cool, man. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, well, we got our Eagles. We'll tell Baldy we got that. Tell Baldy will love it.
Yeah.
He's coming up in about 5 minutes. But here's your pitching matchups. Wheeler, Tidwell tonight. All right? You got the kid. You got Abel, and you got Griffin Canning tomorrow night, who's a gas can.
Yeah.
All right?
No pun intended.
Right? Like, he's a gas can, Griffin Canning. And then Sunday is the Lizard versus Peterson. And
all right, that'll be a good one because Peterson's having a good season.
Lizard pitches a gem. I'm telling you right now, Lizard pitches a gem.
We need revenge on Peterson from the postseason.
No NHL finals either, so we'll be good, Lizard.
Oh right, he's distracted.
He'll be Sunday Night Baseball. 10 strikeouts Sunday night.
Yeah, he'll be on.
10 strikeouts. You watch Pete. Watch the polar bear swing and miss. All right, that's my prediction. The polar bear swings and misses.
Lizard versus bear.
Not a lizard. Take the lizard over the polar bear.
Oh yeah.
All right, let that be a lesson, Joseph.
We should get some people should be at the ballpark dressed up like Slee Stacks for a lizard pitching when he pitches. There should be Slee Stacks down there.
Yeah, man, lizard people.
Yeah,
I love it. I love the lizard, man. Lizard. I'm a big fan of the lizard.
But you got like 12 reptiles in your house. Yeah, so, I don't know. You're a lizard man.
Yeah, well, I'm not. My son is, but that
lizards and primates get along apparently.
I kind of stay. The turtle I love.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Uruguay the turtle is the greatest.
I don't know if it's the same.
My wife put him out on the ground.
Yeah.
In the living room, and he was like, he's active.
Does
Like,
he watch sports with you?
yeah, he's cool, man. Like, I dig the turtle.
Yeah, there's flea stacks. There
I
you
love
go.
that. I like that. Yeah, that's good. The lizard. That's fantastic.
So I don't know if turtle and tortoise are the same. I got a tortoise nug. I want to hit you up with at the end of this.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. No, I think the tortoise is the big one, right? Well, one's in water.
Okay.
One's the water.
That's probably the tortoise, like a porpoise tortoise.
I don't know.
Yeah,
My knowledge, Anthony. I have to ask Anthony.
Yeah.
He's at football practice this morning.
Nice.
I'm like, dude, I said, you getting your reps in, dude? I said, you gotta go. Like, you got it. The way to stand out, and we got Danny D coming in, but the way to stand out is to just be in volunteer for every snap.
Absolutely.
Like, just do.
Get your number out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. You got to be able to keep going. You got to be in the best shape of your life.
Yeah.
Like, he comes out, like,
So
he's home early because they practice early, right? So I go, dude, afternoon workouts. Let's go. Get your ass.
Are you are we at the point now where you start worrying about nutrition?
Yes.
We cut down on the nuggets maybe a little bit?
Yes.
Just some clean protein.
He needs to do that.
He needs a green juice.
Yeah.
No, these two guys with the green juice. Look at them.
We do the green juice every morning.
Oh yeah, that's your new thing.
Yeah, we're healthy.
Frack.
They're cute. They dress together, similar
Yeah,
dress.
We're health nuts.
Yeah, gray shirts, your green juices.
Yeah, Joey loves Andrew.
Yeah.
He loves Andrew.
I love Joey.
Like, no, but he loves you. Like, when you mess up, right? And I bitch at it because it bugs me,
Yeah.
right? And I bitch about you. He always has your back. Always.
That's what he says. He's a good guy. He just said it.
Always
He's a
has
good
your
guy.
back. Joe's a good soul.
He is
always
a
got
good
your
soul.
back.
He is.
But, you're a good soul. I love you to death. Don't mean you don't bleep up a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's still business is business. So when I get mad, he always has your back. Always. Oh, well, you're going to learn that when you speak, you got to be on a mic, Joe. All right? You talk. Like, now this is now I'm going to get on your ass. You got to understand that this is a show. That if you can talk, like, this gets broadcast. So you got to be on a microphone so they hear you. All right? No, you're good. We're good. Let's get back to the Phillies. I love you both, but let's get back to the Phillies because this is a monster series.
Yeah.
And this is where you take control of your division. Listen, I get it. They're going to go back and forth a whole year and everything else. But this is a great showdown. Mm-hmm. It's the middle to end of June. It's the perfect time for a showdown.
We got Brazer coming. Let's get some bunting out maybe even for this. This feels important.
It does feel important. I agree. I
didn't even know. Like I was just like, oh, do I have I was like checking when's my next game on my app? I was like, tomorrow. Last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a nice surprise. I was like,
dude, that's fancy. You're going to get Friday night at the yard?
With this weather?
Yeah.
It should be like 70, high 70s.
Today's a beautiful day. Today's going to be a nice day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's when it gets mucky.
Yes.
But today's a good day. We got our Little League districts.
The road to Williamsport.
Yes, we got a game tonight in Glassboro.
How you feel about it?
I don't know.
You know nothing about this squad?
I know nothing. No, I'm not. I'm more involved in the other team.
Right.
Is
there scouting going on this? Do you guys do the coaches know like what's the other team's got?
Yeah, no, the people. Yeah, oh yeah, they get out there. Yeah. They like to do that. We got lots to get to today. Last night the Pacers take out OKC, and it's funny. I've been hearing this like, well, OKC choked. No, they didn't. Indiana played magnificent basketball. OKC jumps out to like an 8-2 lead or 10-2 lead. And from that moment, it just flipped. Nembhard, like Halliburton gutted it out. He played really well limited time. TJ was in the beast again.
TJ McConnell.
I mean, giving you big minutes.
The steals.
Crowds chanting you, TJ. I mean, look, they played marvelous basketball.
TJ's a rebound away from a double-double. TJ McConnell.
9 boards. It's unbelievable.
Boards.
He is such a disruptor.
Plus, he had, 6 assists, 5 assists? I mean, like, he plays really well. It's amazing. And this is something that we don't take into account. especially with basketball, where guys can get.
They can get. TJ is a guy.
Like, I'm guilty of this too. Like, where you look at a guy and you automatically give them a ceiling.
Well, especially, there's stereotypes. He's short, he's white, he's not that quick.
Right.
But man, does he show you with some heart and some guts? Like, he's all heart.
What a ball player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's just fantastic.
Yeah.
But I did not think they choked. I thought that they.
It's a closeout game on the road. I mean,
tonight's
a choke. If they lose tonight, or the next game's a choke.
Yeah, Indiana just overwhelmed them. They play great defense. OKC could never get into their offense.
Yeah, so what are the odds? It's game 7. It's always like a 50-50, they say. What do you feel?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana shocks the world.
Yeah?
I'm with you.
I mean, obviously, OKC's probably going to be, I didn't see the line. Brain will tell us about it.
He saved me some money last night. I owe him a thing.
8-9, something like that was my guess. But, I think they're live. I think they're live. I don't know how OKC's going to react being pushed to the brink.
That's true.
I mean, that's something that's different. That's something different.
It's unbelievable to run into a TJ McConnell buzzsaw.
They just play great ball. And that's what Miles Turner going 0 for a million.
Right.
Like, Miles Turner couldn't do anything. And they play great ball.
8.5 is the line.
Yeah. Well, what did I say? 8-9?
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of what it is. And I got news for you. They're going to be in. I know Baldy's watching, so we'll get to Baldy coming up in just a moment. Let's take care of some business, shall we? Do some of our friends. How about a little Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app? Listen, we got the big series with Phil's Mets. Do you have it up there? What are the Phillies tonight with Wheeler on the mound? My guess is they're a pretty substantial favorite.
Minus 180.
180. That's a Phillies line. That's a big line. So Wheeler tonight, I think the Phils roll tonight. 8-2. I think the brain goes with the Bet Parks over tonight.
The combo?
Yeah, he's been killing the combo.
Killing the combos, yeah.
So my guess is that. So check out the Bet Parks combo. All the plays right there on your phone, and you got the NBA Finals. When is that game? Sunday or Saturday?
I don't know. I'm on the baseball page.
Yeah. And then you got all your
Sunday,
baseball.
8 p.m.
Sunday, 8 o'clock. Perfect, right? And then all Club World Cup soccer, right? What did Team USA do last night? I forgot to check.
I don't know.
In the
Frazier?
Gold Cup. Did they win? It was 0-0. They didn't play Trinidad. They played the Saudis. They won 1-0.
1-0 against the Saudis. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so you can check all that. The
Saudis in the CONCACAF Cup? I'm so confused.
Anyway, check it all out. The Bet Parks app has it all, including your favorite casino games, online blackjack, roulette, craps, all that stuff, all the hot slots that you want. What's your favorite? Yeti the Yeti?
I'm back on Betty the Yeti.
Betty the Yeti. So check it out. New customers get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down the first 24 hours. Just remember, betparks.com has all the details. Got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm going to talk to you about our friends at Monarch Money. So we all know money just drips out of your bank account. You have no idea.
Especially when you buy $30 donuts.
$30 donuts. You got how many subscriptions are you signed up for? Delivery charges on food. It's just like, where is the money going? So this is where Monarch Money can help you out. Finances can be messy and confusing, as we all know, but Monarch Money acts like your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing. It's more than your average budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center for all your accounts, investments, and goals. So you don't just manage your money, you start building wealth with 50% off your first year for all our listeners. And I don't know, we've been talking, I feel like every weekend we talk about all our streaming sites and how much it costs and we can't track it. So things like Monarch Money are so important. You can start managing your finances to build the life you actually want. Monarch makes managing money simple, even for busy lives. Named the Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025, you could track your spending, savings, and investments effortlessly so you can focus on what matters most, making your biggest life goals a reality. The top recommended personal finance app by users and experts with over 30,000 five-star reviews. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use the code PHLY at monarchmoney.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com simply by using the code PHLY. So get control over those finances.
All right, I like it. I like it. Now, time for the legend on his way to the Sack Summit in Vegas. He's the one, the only, Baldy.
Baldy, Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Ay, Baldy, Baldy. Oh, he likes pizza and football.
Oh, Baldy. There he is, legend. What's up, my brother?
What's up, cuz? BG, how you guys doing?
Happy summer solstice.
Today's the longest day.
June 20th.
Right. How about
Ready?
it? Tell Baldy, because I know you would appreciate this. Do you see this candle? This is a candle.
I see it.
All right. It's got an Eagles thing on it.
Yeah.
All right. VG, tell Baldy the history of this candle.
So during the Foles run, we need a little mojo. So Anthony organized a little mojo event at Lincoln Financial. So I went to some occultists at Harry's Occult Shop, the oldest occult shop in America, I think, at the time. Told them I needed an intention candle for good luck. And they had their the one occultist whipped up a bunch of oils and herbs and put it into this candle. It's handmade right in front of me, specifically for the Eagles. So we're burning it today like a bonfire to honor the sun today on the solstice for a healthy, successful Eagles season.
Nice. No, I mean, all that stuff matters. All that stuff out in the universe. It all comes back.
See, I knew you would appreciate this because you're a man of the universe.
Yes, of course. No, you got to study the stars. You got to study the stars. You got to pay attention to the eclipses. They have been doing this for 5,000 years. I mean, every single thing built, whether you go down to Peru and you go to Machu Picchu, everything was built around the sun.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, everything was paying homage to the zodiac, to the sun, to the moon, the stars. That's how these things were built. That's what they paid attention to back then. We're just so busy paying attention to nonsense that we stopped paying attention to the important things.
Genius. See, in another life, you know who you might be in your past life? You might be Galileo. You may be Galileo.
Well, I mean, I'm maybe, but I kind of think like during that Renaissance period, I was more of an explorer. I was, Vasco da Gama in 1523, going sailing around, the Cape of Good Hope in Africa, trying to go get some spices from India. Like that's where I think that was.
No, I agree. Actually, but who did South America? Because that's where let's face it, you were.
Magellan. Magellan was the first one to go around the Cape of Good Horn.
Yeah, you're Magellan.
He circumnavigated the globe. He commissioned a ship from King Philip in Spain, even though Magellan was Portuguese. That was a problem to begin with.
Right.
Portuguese sailor with commissioned by King Philip.
Yeah.
And to this day, when Magellan died in the gun battle in the Philippines, it was named the Philippines after Magellan by King Philip. Philip, the Philippines. That's where he died in the circumnavigation of the globe. That's all been recorded by PHLY, who was his secretary, that traveled with the 5 boats that made it around the globe.
How awesome is that?
You know what he'd be doing? Today is a huge day at Stonehenge. Like, it's built to honor the sun, basically. So the way the sun rises today on the solstice, the rays shine directly into the heart of Stonehenge. So I can see Baldy hanging out with the Druids back in the day at Stonehenge.
Yeah.
You see, like, he'd be running around with some Druids.
You were definitely an explorer because you would have no fear. Plus, people like you, right? Like, so... I could see like you go to these native lands and the people would dig you, and if they got a little beef, you're not afraid. So like I could see that. I totally see you going to new lands.
I remember one year, I used to put together these travel dog trips, right? So one year I get these 6 guys, and we're like, okay, we're going to charter a boat out of Athens. Okay, so we'll go to Athens. We'll go pay homage to the Greek gods and everything, and then we'll sail. So our first stop, so we're there at the Acropolis. We're at the Acropolis one night, and we meet these 3 Canadian girls. Right? They just got out of college. Right? So they had like their own Greek tour they were going to. I'm like, just come with us. We got a boat. We got a captain. Come sail with us. So we convinced the girls to come with us. So now we've gone from 6 guys to 6 guys and 3 girls. Oh, by the way, they're all really good looking. So then our first
My
stop
man.
was in
I mean,
EOS.
that was a given.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I know EOS.
We stop in EOS, and we're at this restaurant.
EOS
And
is the greatest
chef
sunsets
says-
in the world.
Well, I mean, it's a very small, tiny island. They have
I
just
know.
a couple of restaurants. We go to eat at this restaurant.
I was there.
We meet the chef. The chef says, "Where are y'all going?" I said, "We're going to Mykonos." They said, "I tell you what." The chef makes a deal with us. He goes, "You let us come on the boat and travel with you to Mykonos. We'll make you a 5-star meal that you'll never forget." I said, "We're done." So he brings his assistant chef, because you know, one chef isn't enough to cook for 9.
No,
So now
you
we're up to 11.
chef.
Now we got 11 on the boat, right? So I'm keeping this. I got a little computer with me, so I'm keeping a travel dog log of all the stuff that happens during the day and at night, because it's a party at night. It's a sailing during the day. So now we've got this flotilla with this, you know, down in the galley. We've got this 5-star meal being worked up, and we're sailing to Mykonos, and we're having a party. The music is going, the drinks are flowing. Then we get to Mykonos, and we go to this party out there at the beach, and we meet 3 other people from Rome. We let them come on the boat. We had the best time. That travel dog log turned out to be 37 pages. It's like a short story.
Wow.
Dude,
Just picking up people along the way.
Give me the log, and I'll write a screenplay off it. I mean, come on, bro.
I got to dig it up. It's in my roll top desk at home someplace. I got to just dig it up. It's there.
You know what? We got to do one. We got to do one. Maybe follow Magellan. I don't know. We got to do one trip that we are just video the whole thing.
All right. Well, we used to do that.
A stream.
We made so one of the things we did was, you know, there's 4,000 islands in the Greek island chain.
Yes.
But only a couple hundred are inhabited.
Yeah.
So I told our captain, Paradisco Parascaves. Okay, he was our captain, right?
Sounds like a captain's name.
Captain Parascaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Parascaves. I told him, look, stop at an island that just looks like a flotilla of rocks, and let me take a travel dog flag and stick it into the earth. And
I love it. It's a conquered island.
So we conquered one of the 4,000 Greek islands on that trip.
Oh, that's awesome.
We had a good ceremony. It was a good ceremony.
I love that. That's brilliant. Did you go to Spinalonga, which used to be a leper colony?
I stay away from the leper colonies, man.
It used to be. Now it's not inhabited.
I know, but still, I read all about
that
those
stuff's
leper
dormant, but it might come back to life.
Yeah.
I want to see people with no limbs crawling on the ground. Like, I just don't want to, you know.
Man, you want to talk about a messed up friggin' disease, right? You got leprosy? Oh, man. And then they just shove you on an island and go, good luck.
A bunch of you suffering together.
I mean, that's terrible. That's awful what they did to those poor people.
Man, of all the titles we have for Baldy, now we add Baldy the Conqueror.
I like that. Baldy the Conqueror is fantastic.
That was a good trip.
That's fantastic. All right, a couple things I want to get with you football-wise, and then we'll circle back. Because you're on your way to the SAC Summit, which is awesome.
No, I'm actually coming home to Philly today. I'm playing in Kelsey's golf tournament. Jason Kelsey's golf tournament is Monday, so he invited me to play. So I'm going there. I'm heading home this morning to Philly.
Oh, nice. So you're going to be you'll be home next
Kelsey's
week?
tournament on Monday.
All right. So you'll be around next week? All right, good.
Wednesday, I'm flying to Vegas.
All right. Well, Tuesday, I'll hang with you.
Okay.
Right? We got to catch up.
Well, did you get cocktails last night? You're hydrating with the water again. You go out for some cocktails?
This is. I just got a big thing of cappuccino downstairs. So
that's a big cappuccino cup.
Yeah, well,
ice cappuccino.
You got to do it the right way.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. So this time of the year is the dead time, right? And this is where all the NFL writers and media types, they come up with their list of players, right? Like Pete Prisco's does the top 100. I'm looking at his list right now. And first of all, I think ranking a top 100 players is stupid because here's why. Position. How do you tell? You can't do a quarterback versus a tackle versus a linebacker versus a safety. You got to group them by positions. So during over the next month, I want to come up locked down with the Baldy top 5 at each position. And then we can make this a whole thing where these players are going to strive to make the top 5 during the year. Like it's a carrot. And in fact, we could come up with a Baldy gear that you give each of the players at the end.
We can do that. We can create a buzz where they'll do anything to, get into the top 5 and honor my my list right there.
Yeah,
I think that out there. Listen, I got no problem doing that, cuz.
Like the All Madden team was a big deal.
Yes.
Like that was a big deal, the All Madden team. Well,
huge.
Huge
deal.
Nobody better than you because you watch every individual player. Like all due respect to Pete Prisco, he's not doing film on all these dudes. You are. You're watching film. What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I never stopped watching, honestly.
I
remember one year, they asked me to, who's the best player in the league? Something, something silly. You could have said Peyton Manning, whatever.
Right.
I'm like, Walter Jones, the best player in the league. Left tackle in Seattle. Like, I could build my entire offense around his ability. I had Walter Jones at left tackle and Steve Hutchinson at left guard. I mean, they walked into the Hall of Fame. Like, Sean Alexander ran for 4,000 yards behind those two guys. Like, I didn't even, like, you could talk about Matt Hasselbeck and Mike Holmgren and all they're the best left side in the history of pro football. Like, they were unstoppable going to the left. But,
this is why you're right on point, Anthony, because the All Madden, like anyone could pick who the All Pros are, but Madden would pick out a little something deeper, which is what Baldy does.
That's why, and we're going to do it. We're going to feature this
next level
on the website. Like I really want to do it in a big way. All right, like I want to get this out there. Like people need to see this top 5, and what we're going to do is construct the top 5, and this will be the preseason. Right, and right before the season starts, we'll unveil all of them. We'll do each position groups, but let's talk it through it. Like these are sketches right now because you may at some point go, well, I'm thinking about this, and I want to put here this guy at 4, and whatever. So like I'm going to give you time to edit your list before we come up with the final, right before the season begins. This is our summer project.
All right. We got the guys out Philly who makes like little trophies. You get the little Baldy hand holding the controller.
Play?
Yeah, triple play. Little hand holding the controller. You give the guys who finish
number
just like
1.
That,
we'll make a candle in the shape of the pinky right here.
Yeah.
And then we'll fill it full of good mojo.
I like it. I like it. And the reason why I love this too is because, and I think this is why you and I always jive with when it comes to this sport, is that we love the sport. We want it to be positive, right? We want to highlight greatness and celebrate greatness. Like, listen, guys put a lot of work in. I mean, they do. I look at especially the young players now. These kids are working, and I love that. I respect that, and I want to highlight it. So let's do this little project. We'll start.
I'll do that.
All right, it'll be perfect.
I tell you, the Eagles lost a player this year. They decided not to re-sign him, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And I did something on Chauncey the other day. Now, he has that irritating ability to piss off everybody, teammates, coaches, opponents, but he's productive. He's unbelievable. Like, he played 2 years in Philly. He's got 12 interceptions in 2 years with the Eagles. 12, including 1 year where he led the National Football League in interceptions. Like, that type of productivity, you're not getting that from Minka Fitzpatrick. No. You're not getting that from Derwin James. You can mention all the great safeties in his business. Nobody's taking, like, Xavier McKinney had a good year last year. There's some safeties but I want my safeties to take the ball away. Like, they have to be, they're sitting back there in center field, cuz. Like, the ball's being thrown at him 500 times, 600 times. Like, find a way to take it away. Like, he does. Like, I showed a play last week. I broke it down. And it's Vic Fangio at his best, where you really don't, and it's, it's the playing the Cowboys and who's covering Jake Ferguson, it's man coverage. And honestly, they bait Cooper Rush into making this throw. It could have been Dak Prescott. It could have been anybody. They bait him into making this throw to Jake Ferguson. And they force him not to do it. And there's Chauncey just waiting for him to make this throw to the inside slant, Brandon Cooks. And he's just sitting there. And you don't know it till the last second. And the guy is just, I know guys are like, I know guys didn't love him in the locker room, but I don't care. They didn't like Seth Joyner either. But Seth Joyner was a great player. So this idea that you got to be a perfect teammate, you got to do this, that's all nonsense. There's some guys that are just, they're just a hot button, but they're part of the team. I can go through every great team, basketball. I'll bet on the Pacers team that they got guys like, I love Siakam. Like, I could go through that lineup, but like that TJ McConnell is a pit bull. Like, that kid is instant offense. He's unreal. He moves at a different speed. I bet he does the same thing in practice. Irritates people.
Oh, you know it. He's got to be irritating.
No,
100% of the time.
he's a football player, and that's the only mentality that a TJ McConnell can have to be successful,
right. To be competitive.
Right. He doesn't have the God-given, athleticism. I love your philosophy with it. I do. I love your philosophy. All right. Let's start with a position group. We'll start with an easy one just to kind of get it started, all right? That you could do kind of like off the top of your head. Let's start with running back, all right? Because I know you could wax poetically. This is just a sketch, all right? We're going to do every position, but this will just be a sketch. So let's start with running back. And I guess we'll start with Saquon, right? Like with Saquon or the kid from Detroit.
You could interchange Saquon and Derrick Henry. You could just interchange. Because Derrick Henry's been doing this a bunch, and he's had 2,000 yards in a season. But honestly, Derrick Henry and Saquon in any order right there is worthy. Okay, and so Saquon had. Think about this. Think about explosive plays in a season, in a game, whatever. The guy had seven plays of 60+ yards. Like, he got a quarter of the way to 2,000 on 7 plays. Like, it's just insane. That it, like, nobody
did that.
Like, you pick up running back, Terrell Davis, like, pick a running back.
No,
like Eric Dickerson. They never did anything like that.
No, which is amazing, right? Like, I remember thinking about Barry Sanders, and he was the closest one with big plays. Yeah. He could stop in the backfield for -3. He would go for 2 and then bust one for like 68. But even Sanders never had the explosive plays that Saquon had last year.
Yeah. No, so Derrick Henry, first play on a Monday night or Sunday night against the Buffalo Bills, he goes 87 yards. 87 yards for a touchdown. It's just that kind of stuff. Derrick Henry did that. He's done 99 yards when he was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like, he could just, like, you show these videos of him in high school in Jacksonville. He was doing this in 10th grade. He was doing this. He's doing it in the National Football League at age 30. He's still doing it.
Yeah.
Going 99 yards for a touchdown, 87 yards for a touchdown. Like the amount of speed in the NFL, like that should never happen, but they're still doing it. The two of them.
Would Gibbs be 3? Because I love Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm going to go Josh Jacobs 3. Okay, and I'll go Jahmyr Gibbs 4 right now.
Wow. All right. Why Jacobs?
Well, that guy's explosion is second to none. Like, that guy, when you talk about pressing a hole, taking it right to the point where there's Zach Vaughn right in front of him, who had 155 tackles last year. And next thing you know, Josh Jacobs is running away from him. Literally, he's from me to my computer screen, and he can go in a direction. He can cut like nobody else's business, his vision. Even in the playoff game last year, he had a 34-yard run right up the middle, and he scored in the next play. He got tackled at the 1, scored the next play, a 16-10 game in the third quarter. Like if Green Bay could have gotten anything out of the passing game, that could have been a different result. And Josh Jacobs kept him in that game single-handedly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What do you? I love Gibbs. I mean, plus I think Gibbs is the best receiver as a running back. Like his routes, he ran a route. God, this was it in the playoffs or the end of the season? They line him up. It's a fourth down. Remember they kept going for it on fourth down. Maybe it was Minnesota they were playing. Anyway, they line them up. They line them up, and the route is so perfect that he was uncoverable. Like the way he ran, it was a playoff game. The way he ran his route, it was just beautiful. Nobody runs routes like him at running back.
Well, it's a big reason why he was taken. You know, I mean, his year at Alabama, he was great out of the backfield. That's what got him taken 12th, you know, in the draft that year. You know, the fifth running back. I mean, there's so many different. I mean, you know, you could take, you know, Robinson, you know, in Atlanta as the fifth for sure.
Bijan, yeah.
Bijan, you know, I mean, you're not going to go wrong there. You know, so I mean, there's a couple other guys that you could. Aaron Jones had another great year in Minnesota, and all the things he can do for you. You can line him up at wide receiver. You can line him up, you know, in the tailback. You can check it down to him. There's so many different ways to get Aaron the ball, but you know, probably Bijan, probably number 5 right now.
How far away is your guy Bucky Irving?
Well, he's right there. Bucky's right there. Like that guy. So I was in Tampa 2 weeks ago, and then I was in Jacksonville, where Liam Cohen coached him last year. Like they're like, Baldy, there wasn't a run he had last year where he make the first guy miss. Like he makes the first guy miss. You know, he ran a 4. I want to say he ran a 4.58 40, which is slow for a running back. It's not slow if you're 230 pounds, you know, if you're Ollie Gordon. But if you're 190 pounds, it's slow. But because, you know, Jameer's running a 4.35, you know, at 190 pounds. But that guy, his speed and the way that he plays, it just shows you that 40 time for running back is so misguided if you're just paying attention to that.
Yeah, you got to deal with football. I mean, football speed. What about Jonathan Taylor? Where would he be considered?
Yeah, look, Jonathan Taylor has, you know, he's run for 1,800 yards. He's won the rushing title. I don't want to discount Jonathan Taylor, but who are you taking out right now? You taking Gibbs out for Jonathan Taylor?
No, Gibbs to me.
I talking Bijan? You taking Bijan out?
Right. Like
I'm not taking Josh Jacobs out of the top 5 for anybody. Like I'm taking him over Jonathan Taylor. He's been healthier than Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor has missed time. So I mean, there's a 5A and 5B with Bijan and Jonathan Taylor.
And to your point, I think Bucky's on their heels.
How about Kieran Williams?
Well, they went from the 32nd ranked rushing team in the NFL basically 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And they were the 4th best rushing team in football last year.
Yeah. VG talked about Kyron Williams. I don't think he's there. I don't. I think there's a big drop off between that group and then Kyron. Good back, but
Kyron's a great player.
But he's not.
He doesn't have. He's a great player.
Yeah,
he truly is.
He's just not explosive.
He's a tough guy who's going to get you but he doesn't have the explosive element that the guys that we just mentioned have.
No. In fact, it's funny when you go over the list of them. You know, you sit here and you go, all right. You got James Conner, who's a nice player. You got Kamara, who's at the end. You got James Cook is interesting because, you know, he doesn't have the explosive plays, but he's a nice back.
Yeah. No, look. I mean, we're talking top 5. We're not talking top 10. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that you can argue with between 5 and 10. But the 5 I just mentioned, I don't know that.
No, I agree with it. The only guy that, I mean, he does it, and he's underrated, is Mixon.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's a nice player. I mean, he's still doing it. And there was a time he was certainly top 10. I don't think he's ever been a top 5 back.
Yeah.
He's a big back. He's 228 pounds. There's nothing he couldn't do. His early and look, people thought he was done in Cincinnati. He had a really great year in Houston. But I mean, Joe's, he's a quality back.
All right. The Baldy top 5 backs.
We just had one comment in the thing, Ray from Philly. He wants a Devon Achan.
Oh, from Miami.
Yeah. What do you think?
So Devon Achan
He's a home run hitter.
78. He led all running back. He had 78 catches last year and 6 touchdowns. All right. Only Rachaad White caught more passing touchdowns than Devon Achan. Like he's close to Jahmyr Gibbs. They don't have the offensive line in Miami that they have in Detroit, but he's a very similar player to Jahmyr.
Yeah, I love Gibbs. I'm a Gibbs fan. Like I'm with you. Saquon, Henry. The only thing I think I would change would be I would go Gibbs then Jacobs, but I get it. Like that's you can't go wrong there. And then you got Bijan. You want to lock in Bijan at 5 with Taylor and Bucky just on the outside, receiving consideration. That work?
Yeah, I mean, look, like Bucky did it 1 year. Josh Jacobs has won the rushing title.
Right.
All right. He carried Green Bay last year. He won the rushing title with the Raiders on a bad team.
Yes.
Where he was the best player.
Yes.
All right. So, I mean, I'm just.
Yeah. No, you're great case. Great case. All right. Our first position is in the books.
I like it.
This will be a fun exercise over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. All right.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't discount the service that PFF has. They have a service. Everybody pays attention. But, like, I know there's some people that are just going to go off PFF and say this is their top 5. Well, I don't know. Like, I've had these arguments with Lane Johnson, Tony Baselli about offensive line. Like, how can you truly rank an offensive lineman if you don't know what the assignments are?
Right. Right.
And if you got a backup, center playing and you're the left guard and you got a backup center playing, you're not going to be as good as the backup center there. Like, there's just too many things, too many variables. You can rank them. They have a place for what they do. They have a place. But I feel like if you watch every game, we could have this discussion without ever looking at a note or a score or anything.
Yes.
Like, you watch enough of it.
Yes.
It's like going on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
And you just can look at these stocks and go, that's a quality. Johnson & Johnson's a quality stock.
Right.
Buy the stock. You're never going to go broke.
Right.
You should just know your material.
How about DJ AK Mr. Sandman in the chat? See, he's asking about McCaffrey.
Not till he comes back.
Yeah, I mean, look, if it was the year before, yeah. But he's had 3 really bad injury-prone years. And I questioned 2 years ago when they went to a Super Bowl if they were going to overwork him. And they overworked him. They couldn't get healthy. Now, I got to see, like, I'm not dismissing Christian McCaffrey, but he had 50 carries last year.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think
you can't put a guy that had 50 carries, and then he missed time, obviously, with Matt in Carolina.
No.
Almost full seasons. So, when healthy, absolutely.
Yeah, but you can't put him in there. You just can't. I'm with it. I'm with Baldy. All right,
cuz.
Great stuff, my brother. Have a safe flight. Block out a Tuesday. All right, at some point. Right. Cocktails. All right. See you, pal.
Have a great weekend, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
Safe
You're the
travels.
man, buddy. Baldy. Magellan.
Magellan's good.
How about that story? Wouldn't you love to be on that boat in the Greek Isles?
With him just picking up people along the way. Chefs.
There's a chef
ladies.
from Rome.
It's a party, man.
Canadian women.
It's a nonstop party with Baldy.
Yeah.
I love his stories.
Yeah, they're the best. That's why, we enjoy that stuff.
Dude, I thought about him this weekend. Someone posted pictures of Myles Garrett working out and doing his drills. He is so fast, dude. I thought it was sped up video. I didn't believe it was actual real-time footage.
Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you send me the freaking workout, that video?
Oh yeah, I'll find it. Yeah,
Send it to me.
he's so fast.
You know, I stress to these kids. You're done practice at 11:30. It's summer. All right, you got all day.
Yeah,
You need an afternoon workout.
yeah, and just little things too, like riding the bikes. You know, just stuff to keep you active.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Hood.
Let's go. You want to achieve? It's my talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to be an achiever?
Right.
You want to be a lion?
You want to be somebody?
You want to be a tiger?
Right. You want to be a possum?
Right.
Nothing wrong. They help us out. They get rid of the ticks
No,
and stuff.
but seriously.
Yeah.
You're prey. I always say you want to be prey. You want to be prey?
Yeah.
You don't want to be prey.
Nah.
It's no fun getting eaten up.
Predator, baby.
Hear me? You too, Joey.
Yeah, Joe,
Be a predator, Joey.
You got to work on it. We need a shot doctor for Joey. I got a video of him shooting a basketball at some point. Maybe we get there. He needs a shot doctor.
Joey's not a baller. Joey's not a baller.
He needs a belt too.
Yeah, Joey's not a baller. Time for the brain.
Brain.
Red the Brain Finder.
There he is, La Brain.
Hola, my friends.
What are you doing,
I
man?
just sent you guys a text. Speaking of, you wanted to check out Myles Garrett, man. That you talk about a guy who is the man from a different cloth. Man, I mean that guy is. I don't know how it's possible for a guy that to look like that. No, again, he's. No one really talks about him as being one of the best. I mean, he's just such an amazing, ridiculous, freakish athlete.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
He's
Andrew,
a god.
I just slacked the picture to you, Andrew. If you want to put it up in Myles.
Like he's a
Greek god.
He's a god.
He's a Greek god.
He's just a god.
Yeah. He's unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable.
I can't even imagine waking up and taking my shirt off and looking like that.
No, again, it literally looks like something like almost like fake. It's like how can someone?
It does.
Yeah, like
look like that.
Like uncomfortable to walk. Like you're wearing a suit or something. It's uncomfortable to move around.
All right. Yeah, I mean it's unbelievable.
All right, lots to talk to you about sports wise because one of the reasons why the betting stuff's fun and all, and Bet Parks appreciates it, but I like chopping it up sports because you're a great sportsman. There he is. There's Myles. Look at that.
That's just so ridiculous.
God bless him, man.
I don't even know how that's humanly possible.
I know. Did he eat anything fun? Any sugar?
Nah, I mean, look at that. He's shredded.
Like if I could look like one person in the world, Anthony, VG, I think that would be that would maybe be my first choice. If I could look like anyone in the world, it would maybe be him. That's just so over the top, ridiculous. No, not have that kind of presence.
Yeah,
man.
You walk in the room. Come on.
Yeah, you're a stud, man.
Yeah, you walk in the room. You're like,
everyone's like, whoa.
Yeah,
like
that's
total respect.
That's a lion.
Yeah, it's like the lion.
That's
the lion walks in.
So
King of the jungle.
Anthony. Be a lion.
Maybe I want to be an antelope. I want a Michael Phelps body with the Michael Phelps lifestyle. It's a good body.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Like a panther.
Right. Let's get. We got a lot of stuff to get to. First of all, last night, how about the Pacers last night? How about that performance? They jumped them. They jumped all over OKC last night.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they absolutely did. And look, again, it's funny. Like it started out, they got up, and OKC caught up to 1, and then when it was 22 at halftime, when I made a very big position. I went in on Indiana. I'm like, I think this is their night. I think it's their night.
Thank you for saving me money last night, Brain, because I was going to take. I was like, I'm going to. Once they were down at some point, I was like, I'm going to take OCC in the points. But yeah,
what was the line at halftime?
I laid 12.
Wow.
Yeah, they were up by 22. They got up by 32.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good one for me because that was one of my bigger ones. But it was look, I got to tell you something, guys. I always say, let's be objective here, right? If I didn't know anything about these two teams, I just watched the first 6 games, and I had to just give a percentage which team was better through the 6 games. I'd maybe say 52-48 Indiana, 53-47 Indiana. I think Indiana's been the slightly better team.
Agreed.
And you know what? I mean, again, at some point, you just have to say, either we overrated OKC or we underrated Indiana. Now, again, it's been a weird series because there haven't been many good games, and that a lot of these games have been blowouts. But I got to tell you, I really like Indiana in Game 7. I do. I don't think they're losing this game by double digits. I'm not. I don't think they're going to win, but I think this game will be close. I think it'll be tight, and I'll be surprised if they win by double digits. I'm going to make a big bet on Indiana.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you.
I know it's the road.
Here's why. All right, so this is my problem with OKC. They don't have enough scoring. They need another score. Like if I'm OKC to build a true dynasty, I got to get another scorer in there because as much as I love Jalen Williams and he's terrific, he doesn't. You can't rely on him every night, and it's too much SGA. And there's not a third spoke like Holmgren.
Right.
You can't count on him to score. Right? Like, you need a third spoke that could score. Dort is not that guy, right?
No.
None of the guys they bring in,
they
Isaiah
must have to
Joe,
consolidate.
You do. You need another
and they have so many
scorer.
picks.
Danny,
Anthony, here's the thing. They have so many picks.
Paul George, dude. Can we sell him on Paul George?
The funny thing is, they could have gotten, again, maybe it would have been too much of a weird move and whatever. Maybe they didn't want any of their guys, but it would have. They really a guy like they could have gotten Luka and probably given way more than the Mavericks gave up. But do they make a move for a Greek Freak and say, you know what, we actually have with our picks, with having 21st round picks coming up, we can get better picks than anyone giving up. Maybe we go make an all-in move, even if they win, whether they win or lose. Kind of like when the Warriors added Durant. Maybe they say, let's just do this in the next 5 years. Good luck beating us.
Yes, I do, dude. I think that's their biggest issue. By the way, Danny D, the AD, joins us.
How we doing, brother?
Great sportsman that he is. I know you were watching last night, so get in on the discussion. They don't have. They need that other score because when they're running, like what Indiana's doing is just blitzing SGA. They're all over SGA, and he desperately needs somebody that could take the pressure off them and could score.
Yeah, and we talked about it. They're not a great offensive team, and I said when these games become half-court games, they're like that's the time to go against them because unless they're getting points in transition and whatnot, this is. And again, they had a historically great plus-minus rating for the season, but again, you really do learn that the playoffs in the NBA are so different than the regular season. You must have to retrain your mind, kind of like hockey when the Panthers play. You have to retrain your mind. It's different. It just is. And if you keep thinking it's not, you're going to get left behind at the station. And these playoffs are clearly different. They struggle to score. You're right, Anthony. You're 100% right. And if SGA doesn't have a good game or what, there's so much pressure on this team because of the lack of scoring. You see Indiana. And by the way, again, McConnell, man. And it's interesting. In this series, he's the only guy who can get around and penetrate on the. It's amazing how freaking good the guy's been.
He's a dog.
If he was a free agent, he'd get like I don't know how much he'd get, but someone would really pay him, in my opinion, because he's terrific. I mean, I Sixer guys, we know how good he is, but it's just amazing how well he's played. I mean,
I looked it up.
Did he
right
win the
away
Finals
last
MVP, or is that too hyperbole?
It's like Iguodala.
I think he's been their best player. Hand on the Bible.
When
I think he's been their best player.
It's not crazy. I agree with you.
I think he's been their best guy.
He's been so
if
good.
If you're just being honest,
you don't
who's
win
been their best player in this series?
Yeah,
it's been him.
I know. Listen,
it's been him.
It's amazing. He played 24 minutes last night. He gives you 12, 9, and 5 in 24 minutes, and great defense.
Iguodala, when he won the thing, and said I had to Steph Curry, he's probably getting 10 zillion to 1 to win it. Literally, I can't. He's probably not even offered as a bet. But if you offered me some crazy like 1,000 to 1 on TJ McConnell, hand on the Bible, if the series was over right now and I had to pick a Pacers guy, a guy texted me who would win it right now, what's his name, Halliburton or Siakam, and I go, for me, it would absolutely be TJ McConnell. I think he's been their best player in the series. But I know he's not going to win it, but
he also had 4 steals last night.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I looked it up right away last night, brain that. I was like, let me see when his contract's up. They got him locked in for another 3 years at this year. But he got paid last year. But I thought the same
he
thing.
deserves
this guy
Good
might
for
get
him.
$20 million.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you.
He got 20 a season. For sure.
But look at the OKC. Look after Shea and Jalen Williams, right? Here's who you got. Tell me who could score. Like we talked about Holmgren, right? They go with the big lineup with Hartenstein. You know he can't score.
Yep.
Dort can't shoot. Then who you got? Dante Jones, right? Like you got Caden Wallace, you got Wiggins, right? Isaiah Joe. Caruso's a great defender. They got no scoring.
Caruso's like their fourth option.
Well, Joe is probably their next best scorer from a pure scoring standpoint.
And he doesn't. He
can't play him
play the other night. You can't
right.
play
You can't
him.
really play him. Right.
You can't guard anybody. That's
no.
It's a flawed. This is a very flawed, quote unquote, great team. And for a great team, they really are incredibly flawed and really can be beaten, which we're seeing.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy about Indiana? What's crazy about Indiana is, like, Miles Turner's done nothing this series, right? Like
nothing.
Not like he does not. Their best players have been TJ. Obi Toppin has had a great series, right? Like he gives you 20 in big moments. Like he scores. He walks in. You mentioned that point in the second quarter when the game's a 1-point game, and I'm like, this is a bad move. He took out SGA at that point. It's 34-33. I'm going, dude, you got nobody that could score on the floor. Indiana went on a run. Obi Toppin walks into 2 threes. Next thing you know, it's 13, and you're looking up.
Listen to this stat, guys. This is like one of those Tony Gwynn strikeout stats. It's crazy. Before last night, Indiana Pacers were getting better odds to win the series, this year's championship, than next year's championship. How crazy is that? They were 12 or 13-1 to win the title, or 14-1 before last night, and they were like 10-1 to win it next year.
That's crazy.
Is that insane?
Did you bet Indiana at all?
I live bet them. I didn't bet them before the game. No, I did not bet them before the game. No, I did not. I did, though, make a very, very good trade. There's a site that you could buy people's futures tickets, and people that maybe have these large tickets and they don't have the ability to get down like I can. And I was able to bet the Thunder when it was 2-1 OKC. The series price was OKC about -230. I was able to buy them -145 and make it, I clocked in a very nice profit because I just had the ability to buy those tickets. I was lucky. But no, I'm going to bet the Game 7, Anthony. I am going to take the Pacers. I can get a 9. I'm going to take the Pacers getting 9. I don't think OKC is going to win this game by double digits. I really don't.
That's a lot. 9's a lot.
I know.
For a Game 7?
I know. Because you're going to think it's going to go away. The only thing that gives me pause, and I'm with you, because I like Indiana, but the only thing that gives me pause is if back home, and you and I are big believers in this, this is where your role players, like I could see Dort, like making shots. I could see Wiggins, like those 3 threes that he'll make at home are big.
He'll make one on the road. Yeah,
like you know what I mean. Like that's a big swing.
No, it is. And
the Indiana role players, other than TJ, usually go quiet. Right,
Poppin should be good though. But Anthony, what I love about this Indiana team, and again, it's a totally different makeup. They're again saying it. Their bench is better than the Sixers. Like their bench, their team, like their non-starting 5 is better than the Sixers. That's what I mean. It is. I would take. You give me their bench. I love, and that's why they've been so good this entire playoffs. They never have a bad player on the court. I keep saying it. They never have a bad player on the court.
Yeah.
And look, what we've learned is this OKC team.
Even Mafford's a nice player.
6th pick in the draft. The guy can score.
He guards. He's really athletic.
Yeah, very, very athletic. He's going to be a really good player. Like I like him a lot.
Tough team.
All right, so let's go from the finals to the big story in town. It's the showdown in the NL East. It's the Titans and the Mets both sit at 45 and 30. Your pitching matchups for the weekend: Wheeler, who is it tonight? Tidwell, excuse me. Abel and Griffin Canning, and the Lizard versus Peterson.
Seems like a 2-1 Phillies one to me.
Right?
Yeah, they should win the night and then probably split the next two. I think Sunday's the Mets' best chance to winning. Mets. I may bet Peterson in that game because he'll be probably a slight
Damn,
underdog.
he's going anti-lizard.
Yeah, see, I'm a lizard guy. I'm a
Well,
lizard. I'm a lizard truther.
Peterson. No, but Peterson's been just so ridiculously consistent. Just ridiculously consistent. But yeah, and I think Phillies win 2 or 3.
You got both of them side by side, and I can have one. I'm taking Lizardo.
Yeah, no, I would take for a career. I would take Lizardo. For a career, I would take Lizardo. But I'm just saying he'll be an underdog, and I don't know. Well, so I think Phillies should win 2 or 3. Bottom line, I'm sure the Phillies would take that in 2 seconds, guys. Right?
Oh yeah.
Lizardo's going to be an underdog, you think, on Sunday?
No.
No, I think he'll be a favorite.
He thinks Peterson will be getting money.
And I think Peterson will be a slight dog. I think Peterson will be a tiny dog.
He plays off the numbers.
Yeah. And I think Peterson should actually be favored. But I think he'll be a slight underdog.
You think Peterson should be favored? I don't.
In current form, yes. In current form. Like, again, it's always...
So, all right, we threw out the...
Like 1 month ago, I would say absolutely not.
Okay, so
3 weeks ago, I'd say absolutely not.
So let's dive into the Lizard, right? So
yes.
Lizard was tipping, right? So you knew that's what it was. He comes back after that start and has a gem, right? Just throws a gem. Gloves higher, different position. He's not tipping his fastball. And then he scuffles a little bit the other night in Miami, which... I think he pitched distracted. He joked about, because he's a huge Panthers fan, he joked about pitching quickly so he could watch the game. But he was pitching to contact. He changed a little bit. He was pitching to contact. You watched Sanchez last night. He did the same thing. And he just got hit a little bit. Sunday night, this dude is going to be locked in. I love his stuff. I'm a huge fan of his stuff. I think he's got better stuff than Peterson, and I think he's going to have a great. I think he's going to pitch great Sunday night.
He's on all my fantasy teams, so he was a guy I targeted. So I root for him very hard. I think he's very, very good, Anthony. But again, in current form today, and again in 3 weeks, people are like, oh, Brad.
Yeah, but I think there's reasons reasons for it. Yeah, and that's kind of where. Like, I don't go over last 4 starts. These are the numbers. I'm looking at. I watch the dude closely, like we all do.
Sure.
So I kind of extrapolate and throw out. Like I throw out the tip and pitches. Like that immediately gets tossed because I think he was tipping.
But to me, the Mets have a better lineup. To me, the Mets without Bryce Harper, you can't really give me that. You can't argue that. And to me, I trust the Mets and the bullpen more, and I trust Peterson more than right now today, at least as much as look. Peterson,
like Saturday's the day I worry about more
because right. Well, but Canning's been getting hit a little bit recently too. I mean, he's kind of been a nice story for them. But he's been they've been a very lucky signing to date. He's been very good to date. But what pitching over his head? They got lucky with Minaya, and this is a team that's gotten fortunate with Minaya last year and now Canning this year with guys that you would never think would put up these kind of stats. And that's how you win divisions. You got fortunate moves like that, I guess. Yeah. But to me, I Phillies win 2 or 3. I think that's a very good outcome. They got to win today with their ace, which they should.
Yeah, I mean, you got Wheeler going. The place. I got to think the park tonight's going to be crazy. Like, you're going to feel it. Like,
it's going to be electric. Oh, yeah, it's going to be electric.
It better be.
No, I mean, you're going to be, VG will be down there. Like, it's got
third baseline, VG got the
first
baseline.
Yeah. I like that. I like those seats.
Yeah. You see the Jumbotron. I like it. You're on the dugout side, Phillies dugout side.
I used to remember, Anthony, you remember in the vet, I had seats that was always section 220. I don't know if you know what that is. Section 220. It was like first base. It was the maybe it was third. But it was like the 12th. I get like the 12th row. Man, I love those seats back in the day at the vet.
Because they were foul ball. Yeah. They were foul ball territory.
No net back then.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
Balls are flying at you.
No, it was the best. You were dying for a ball every game.
Duck and cover.
When I was a kid,
the picnic area.
When you were a kid, didn't you die for a game? One time I got lucky. Somebody had it to hook up, and we sat right on the rail.
Yeah.
Where you could reach.
Where the picnic area, Anthony?
Yeah, where you could reach and grab the ball.
Yeah, I got one given to me. I was close enough. I never got one, but I got
I've never got
handed
one.
it. You know, I was close enough to the rail where I got one handed. Ball girl handed.
Oh yeah.
That's mine. It's the only foul ball
Actually,
I
I have a lot. I have about a half dozen foul ball stories.
For real?
Oh yeah. One
You have
time,
that many?
yeah. What the greatest was, I was on a date with my wife. She becomes my wife. We're at the game, and line drive, literally line drive, and it was literally coming. It was like, you know, how to impress a girl, right? Like it was like that lucky, and it literally, I just reached out. I didn't, you know, you don't think, right? Like I just reached out and grabbed it.
You got bits though.
And
you caught?
Literally.
I literally went like that,
like catcher mitt hands.
in front of her face. I was like this. I snagged it. I think for this day, that's why she.
I'm gonna have to ask her. I'm gonna have to ask Tim next
Ask
time.
her.
That's a crazy story, man.
I'll have to
Do you
ask
know
her.
who hit it?
No, I forget. I don't know. I just grabbed it like that.
Look at these paws on you.
And
look at these paws.
and,
Eat them up.
And it was great because like,
Primate
I got
balls,
the
dude.
I got the ovation, man. They gave me a standing
Oh, I
ovation.
love that.
Oh,
Well,
no,
you
You
should
got
have.
booed. You would have got booed quick if you dropped it.
No, it was great. Yeah.
No, that was a line
He
drive,
drops
man.
it, pops her in the face.
That was my favorite like story because like I was like literally, and she was like, "Damn!" Like she was like impressed. Like it was great.
Massimo ain't gonna be around if you didn't catch that ball, boy.
Exactly.
Those kids wouldn't exist.
Man,
then-
I was there too. I've been fighting for you too. I'm like, man, that's my kind of guy. Catch a line drive.
and then I'm trying not to because it stung like
For sure.
right. And then I'm
sure.
trying
Try
not
not
to.
to wince or anything.
Yeah, you're trying not to act like, damn, that hurt.
It's like
I was
double the
like-
size it used
I
to
was
be.
like,
Stitches on his hand.
Yeah.
You got the
stitch.
stitch. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I had another one that was great. So I'm at Dodger Stadium. Was it Dodger Stadium? I think it was Dodger Stadium. Yeah, because I was on the West Coast. And I'm in the press box. So I was a chatty, as you could well imagine, right? Like I was always chatting, visit with a different guy. Like it used to drive me. Like I love to sit and watch a game and all score, but you know, I mean, after doing 100 games, you know, I got to get up. I walk around where you know I'm talking to people. So I'm talking to another guy, like on the other side of the press box. Foul ball comes in the press box, lands in my seat. All right. But it lands on my laptop and smashes my laptop.
Oh, wow.
My God.
So, boom, I'm
No
done.
way.
Right?
And you had to write a story for it?
Yeah, I was on deadline. I was working for the Post.
Oh, man.
So I have to write a story, dictate the story. I was horrible. But the worst was I had to now get my I was on a trip, right? So, like, I was going to San Francisco or San Diego. I was in California because I had to go to a Apple store, wherever the store was back then. I don't know if it was an Apple store, but anyway, my editor goes, "Foul ball, bust your computer." He goes, "I got one question. Why didn't you catch it?" And I go, "Well, I wasn't at my seat." Yeah, see, you were talking, right? You weren't at your seat.
He knows
Meanwhile,
you.
you're going to cost me $600 for a new computer. When if you just were at your seat, you would have caught the ball, and I wouldn't have to go for the $600.
Oh, man.
I got snagged. I don't have to say. I'd rather say, yeah, I wasn't at my seat. I was talking to somebody else. Than say I missed it.
I didn't catch it.
Right.
Yeah.
Not for sure.
I respect. Well, you never lose with the truth, also.
Exactly. But even pride, like, you know.
Yeah, I get it, dude. I get it.
You know. Yeah, that's
can't
what,
have.
you just can't do that. Anyway, fun stuff.
Yeah.
Let's do our weekend plays.
Yes, sir.
First, real quick, Brain, you want to give your basketball props? Do you have any props for the game?
You know, well, it's fun. Again, at this point, Anthony, it's just so sharp. I mean, I looked at them, and every single one, it was what I thought they would be. And so again, as I always say, to the people out there, and anyone who bets any of the stuff I give, I take it seriously. I always want people to have fun, make money, hopefully, and I never want to just give a pick just for people if I don't really endorse it. So For me, yeah, no, these numbers are sharp. Now I do like the Pacers in the game,
Right.
and that's something I'm going to bet.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right, boys. What's your records?
56 and 54.
All right, Brain.
We went 3-1 yesterday, Anthony, but more
nice.
but we won the second straight day. We're 101 and 87. We won the Parks combo.
Wow.
Which 2 straight days we've hit it now. 2 straight days that the Parks came
You're
combo
probably
of the
like
night.
5 out of 7, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's not that good. No, it's
5
hard
out
to win
of
these
8.
things, man. You're getting at least 2. You're getting at least
Dude, you're
2 to 1
crushing
odds
the
and all
Parks
this stuff.
combo.
But that's wait, listen, I'm gonna try to make it 3 in a row, Parks combos, but 3 in a row, hopefully. Look, we're gonna take the Phillies. We know that, right?
Right.
So it came down to me, do I take over 8.5 or under 8.5? And I had to go with the under 8.5 because I'm getting plus 195 versus the over of only plus 155. Now I know the Phillies can score, but I know Wheeler's not gonna allow runs tonight. I think the Mets are gonna score 2 runs or less. If the Phillies don't score 7, that means we're going to cash that plus 195. Give me the Phillies and under 8.5. The Parks combo play today.
Okay.
We're going to be hopefully 3 straight.
All right, I'll
when I
root
see you
for
guys
the
Monday.
under.
I can't. I'm going to the game. I don't want to see an under. I want to see some runs.
It's the
Crooked
odds,
number by the
VG.
Phils.
I only get 155 on the over, and I don't think Wheeler's going to allow anything.
7-3 Phillies is what I felt.
All right, I like that.
I don't want to jinx it, so let's root under. Let's root under.
I'll give you look. My first play of the game. We're 101-87. We got 4, and I'm going to go Mackenzie Gore. This is just easy to me. Over 5.5 Ks, 12-1 to over 5.5 Ks. Has the highest K rate in the league. Yeah, the Dodgers are great. I get it. Dodgers are great, but they actually strike out.
They strike out.
They strike out more than the average amount of teams. This should be 6.5. Should not be 5.5. When he lands on 6, like was the edge. Mackenzie Gore over 5.5 strikeouts, 12-1. It's gonna be 13-1 after tonight.
I like it.
I'm going to stay in that game, man. You know I like to find these spots to fade the Dodgers. Kershaw's on the mound versus Gore. I'm going to take the Nats plus 1.5 runs for minus 120.
Yeah. I would be on that side 100%.
Why don't you take him out right?
I want the 1.5.
What's the line?
Plus 150-ish, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Dude, take the Nats. Where's the big balls on VG?
It's been a rough week, man. They're shrinking up. They're shriveling.
Exactly, man. He was in the pool.
You gotta go
got
back
some
to
shrinkage.
soccer. You need the bigger balls. All right, we got Brains.
Next, we're gonna go. Listen, Hunter Brown, one of my favorites, as you guys know.
Yeah,
we're gonna go over 6.5 strikeouts now. Anthony, yesterday we had Carlos Rodon over 6.5 strikeouts. Another elite strikeout bet show against the Angels. You're a big matchup guy. Angels 29th out of 30 in strikeouts. Hunter Brown 10-4 over 6.5 strikeouts. Angels 29th out of 30 in strikeouts.
Yeah, they K.
My numbers made this around 8.2 when I did it. 6.5, bad number. Hunter Brown over 6.5 Ks.
I like it. I like it. Okay.
I'm gonna go with a Shane Baz today.
The Baz.
Yeah, I like the Baz, man. I'm going anti-Flaherty. Yeah, I
Hmm.
like going anti-Flaherty because I know Brain loves him. So I'm gonna take I'm taking the Rays today.
All right.
They are
Trying to
like
pick
plus
'em, right?
115 or something, 110, plus
Okay.
110, something around there.
All right. All right, Ray.
I'm gonna stick in that Hunter Brown game, guys, and I'm gonna go. I contemplated maybe taking Hunter Brown, but I'm like, you know what? I think the better bet actually. Kikuchi's been very, very solid. I'm gonna go under 4.5 runs, and that
Okay.
I know Hunter Brown's gonna kind of like Wheeler. I know he's gonna take care of me. And Kikuchi's been good, and I don't like the Astros lineup that much. I think it's very blah. They don't even have Alvarez. They don't really have much offensively.
The problem with their lineup is
pitching.
they have no left-handed hitters in their lineup.
They have like no hitting. They don't have any hit. I don't think they have any hitting just in general.
There is a kid I like on that team.
Who?
That Cam Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they gave up, Anthony. They gave up arguably the second or third best hitter in the National League and Kyle Tucker for him. So they paid for him. They paid for him. But yeah, he looks like he's going to be the real deal. But I like under 4.5 runs in that one. Again, I like when I get 2 pitchers, I think really can shut down the other team, and I have to be 5 runs scored. And again, I don't like messing with bullpens, especially with bad teams like the Angels. I'll take under 4.5 runs as my third bet of the day there.
All right.
And Brain has put a curse on me, so I'm warning everybody right now. My soccer bets, I can't win one. Ever since he said I couldn't lose one.
Easy one.
I feel bad.
So I'm going to say right now, I'm taking Chelsea plus 120 today versus Flamenco RJ. And I'm going to tell everyone you should probably fade me and go the other way for plus 265. But I'm taking Chelsea today.
I would have said go Bayern. Bayern Munich is playing today against Boca Juniors. They scored
the
10
Bocas were tough last
They
game.
scored 10 goals in their last game, Bayern.
That wasn't against the Bocas. That's Tucci's Boca boys.
Yeah, dude.
Harry Kane.
Dude.
They got some.
When you score like that, you're not coming back with another piece.
Well, I don't think they're going to have that again.
And plus, that team stinks. What's that team they played? They're horrible. They're playing today.
Was it Upland? Upland City?
Yeah, against Flamenco or whatever they're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that team stinks.
I think Bayern's going to win, though.
Well, you got to lay a big number.
Yeah,
what's the line?
Gotta be big.
It's minus 345.
Yeah, all right, big shot.
Look at the big stones on Andrew.
I'll bet the sun comes up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to give
I'll
him
take
an
the Eagles
easy
minus
one.
14 on the money
It's
line.
not easy. Minus
play that.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's a
Exactly.
violation. Come on, be a sportsman.
Exactly.
Oh,
minus
man.
345. Get the hell out of here.
That's literally like being minus 14 takes money line.
Back in the winner's circle, all right?
Come on, dude.
Well, bro.
I'm going to take me to finish
Win
one slice of pizza
$1.50.
minus 580. Stop.
That's great. All right, your last one?
I got one more, man. Listen, another one of my favorite guys has been Joe Ryan. He's been terrific all year. Mizorowski, Anthony, that's the guy we talked about.
Yeah.
The Brewers, the guy who throws 104 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Pitched a no-hitter his first game.
Yeah.
I'm going to take under 4.5 runs in that game. Again, I in the 5-inning line again. I trust that Mizorowski's probably going to pitch 5 innings. They will probably allow 2 or less. I think Joe Ryan and Phil Good will allow 2 or less. Both guys aren't allowing 3. A pretty good chance if both guys give him 2 or less, it's not going over 4.5 on the 5-inning line. That'll be my 4th and final bet of the day.
Well, good.
I mean, wasn't going to do this, but I might as well. Inter Milan is minus 530 versus Oro Red Diamonds. So, yeah, Inter Milan minus 530.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
Boo my pick.
A lot. Good stuff.
They call those like bridge jumpers, like because you lose them.
Yeah.
You know,
on the
that's why I
bridge.
call them bridge jumpers. You don't want to lose those.
No.
Good. All right, brother. Great stuff as always. Have a great
Appreciate
weekend,
you
pal.
guys, man.
Appreciate
Have a
it.
great weekend.
See you, buddy. There he is, the brain checking in. Take care of some business. I want to ask you about what it's like to start building a program.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it can be frustrating at times, right? It can be tiring, right? But it's fun. I love to build, so I'm excited. And there's a great foundation. Like sometimes when you come in, there's no foundation. It's even. But when you have a great foundation,
Well, I want to get into this a little bit with you. Let's take care of some business, and I want to ask you about it. Making Varsity, brought to us by our good friends at Cherry Hill Jeep, a folk dealership. By the way, Joey, go downstairs, get Brazer. Brazer's here. All right, he's downstairs on the sidewalk. All right, let's take care of some business, shall we? Let's talk about Golden Nugget Jewelers. Oh, that's where Philly gets engaged. It doesn't get better than Golden Nugget Jewelers. That's your own, my man, right on 8th and Chestnut, the heart of Jewelers Row. Look, you met that special somebody. At some point, you're going to have to get the ring, all right? You can't go through life. It's great to catch a foul ball and do stuff, but you got to get the ring, man. The ring matters, all right? That's all that matters. So do yourself a favor. Go see your own. You met that special somebody. You start to shop. Look at it. Just go. He'll give you a whole dissertation on the diamond and the experience and what you're looking for and how it fits your taste and more importantly, how it fits your budget. Like you don't want to go too crazy and then you're stressed out. They're going to take the stress out of buying the ring. All right, education. All right, you're going to work within your budget. That's the beauty of Golden Nugget Jewelers. And look, whatever gift you got, you're thinking, right? Whatever. Birthdays, anniversaries, you got it. Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. GoldenNuggetJewelers.com. You go there, you ask for your own, all right? Your own. And you tell them Cuz sent you. It'll take great care of you. Let's talk about Parks Casino, Street Road, Ben Salem, and all the great acts in Parks Casino. Oh, my. Let me tell you. Here's what's going on at the Excite Center. All right. How about where are we at here? Gary Clark Jr., September 6th.
Here come old Flap Top, he come grooving up slowly.
How's that, huh? July 3rd, excuse me.
best.
You got to get moving on that because you want to see that song. You got to go, Andrew,
Yeah.
because you do it great. You can sing along on stage with him.
Yeah, maybe he'll bring me up.
You know, that'd be
We'll let
fantastic.
you know. I mean, as your manager, I did actually coined yourself the manager because I'm gonna start making some moves for you guys. All right?
Yeah.
We need a guy like you.
You know what? Danny's
Yeah, get us
perfect
together.
manager
Yeah,
for you guys.
How's
He
that?
really
Go.
is.
We gotta
Here
get
we
this
go,
going. We
VG.
gotta get this going, man.
All right, UB40, September 20th.
Red wine.
All right, how about Australian Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here 50th anniversary, September 26th.
So you think you can tell heavy from hell?
He's adding the
They even got the
Aussie
accent on
accent.
it. Yeah, that was
It was
nice.
asked, the accent
Yeah, it was
was
nice.
asked for, so.
That's great.
You guys know the Revivalists?
I do. I wish I knew you when I was young. We could have got so high.
That's the lead man. BG's the lead man.
Yeah.
He steps up.
He could be good. Like
They
he's-
harmonizes right.
He's
man.
he's got the better voice. He's got the bigger stones.
Well, he knows the songs more than me. I don't know.
Yeah.
the
Well, he's a true music man.
That's true.
I learned the song, Andrew, for the spot. I learned the song.
Yeah, because he puts
okay.
the work
You drive
in.
around the
I
bike.
forgot
Put
the
the song on. Put the
revivalist.
song on while you're
Okay.
riding
Say
your
with
bike.
Jace.
I forgot the revivalist.
See these two slackers.
I got to do a lot of other work to get this show running.
Frickin' frack.
Yeah.
Can't be thinking about songs all the time, all right?
October 4th, Kansas.
Carry on our wayward son. There'll be peace when you are gone.
October 10th, the Psychedelic Furs with Gary Newman.
Isn't she pretty in pink?
Had a boy.
He didn't know that.
Nah.
How about Everclear, October 24th?
We
Can live beside the ocean, leave the fire behind, swim out past the breakers, watch the world die.
Like, he's got the voice on it. Like, he had the voice. He knows the words. He's got the voice.
He's the lead man. He's got the charisma, VJ,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm not like a Mick Jagger. You know?
Yeah.
Not a great singer, but I bring it.
Yeah.
He's got the singing prowess.
Yeah, he's like Celine Dion. You
Yeah.
know, good voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stones, a good voice.
Almost Queen, a tribute to Queen.
Is this the real life?
Is this just fantasy?
Oh, boy.
Caught in a landslide to escape from reality.
All right, there you go. Tickets at parkscasino.com. Don't forget Bill Murray's Blood Brothers, November 15th. You got to be 21. Gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Make a varsity with our man Danny D, the AD.
Yo,
All right.
these guys. I mean, Penn making some moves this week. My feed's blowing up with these transfers coming in.
Whoa. We're doing our thing, man.
Oh, yeah.
So your official start date is
July 1.
July 1.
Yep. Coming up like 10 days.
Right. So what's it like now? You know, you helped under your stewardship many state titles came your way at the prep.
Yeah, I walked into a great situation at the prep. But again, just working with the coaches and making sure that, you know, and my philosophy as an AD is if you need me to sell hot dogs and to make you the best coach, I'll go sell hot dogs. Not having an ego, attacking it how you think what makes you the best, you know, coach of yourself. So giving them the resources, giving them the support, but also, you know, strategically working with them, giving them some of my connections, you know, like helping them, you know, build their networks, help them grow, and you know, just putting the pieces together. So it's a very collaborative process, but you know, in this area, I'm very connected in different youth groups and different, you know, coaching circles. You know, being here my whole life, growing up in the rec department. So I have the ability to do that, and then you know, working with great coaches, and when there's openings, hiring the right people, right, to come in and grow out that staff. So it's a definitely collaborative process. I've been very blessed to work with incredible coaches in my time as athletic
Do
director.
you believe that it's all about development? And so the coach, like the staff that he has, like, how do you view it? Like, I mean, obviously you're looking for talent, but there's also a development piece at that age. Like,
it really,
it's different
it really
than
depends on the
college.
sport. The development in high school really depends on the sport. I think football is one where development's huge because there's not so much. The individual training is great, but the football. Like there's certain sports where development really happens at a high school level,
Right.
where it's some you're just guiding, you're just coaching, and you're not really developing the talent. It really depends on the sport, but one that I really truly believe the development is huge is football, because the intricacies of it and how much you have to work and the coaching aspect and the main, football. There's so many different things going on for
Yeah.
the position, and
Yeah.
to understand that, work different schemes to be ready to take it to that next level. The structure, how you're running your practices, how you're running your organization, that's huge, right? And your kids have a head start. And at both places I've been at for football, Roman and Prep, they've had great coaches and they've really developed the kids. And they when they got to that stage, next level, they were ready to run and they're ready to go. So yeah, again, I think development is it's huge, right? And it's just different in every sport. It varies. Like basketball, the AAU world's huge, right? There's a lot of stuff going on, right? But there's only 5 people on the field, on court, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little different.
Well, and also AAU is
coaching is
different
more.
because it's all individual AAU.
Yes.
And so when you're at high school level, you're trying to win.
Yes.
So you need guys that's not about you. AAU, it's 5 individual guys playing basketball.
Sure. It's like this. I always
Yeah.
say the fist, right?
Yeah.
Open hand smack,
Yeah.
hurt someone.
Yeah.
Put fist, you put one of these paws.
Yeah.
on someone.
One of those things.
You're knocking
Yeah.
them out, right? But you
Yeah.
come together, you're a fist.
He's probably knocking me out with the slap too. I mean, let's be honest. That thing.
But that's it's like 5 individuals. It's nice, it's cute. But if you want to be powerful, you come together. You come together.
That's
You're
true.
a fist. You're putting people down.
One thing I was curious about, because my boy Bobby D's been out there for like 20 years
Legend.
doing soccer.
I was just on a Zoom with him. He's
So you
legend.
come in as the AD. I mean, how do you deal with relationships like that? If someone's been there like 20 years, you're the new guy. Is it hard to be like,
Luckily,
yo,
I've
you're
known
doing
him,
this
though, right?
wrong, or
No,
we
but
need you to do this a little differently?
For sure. I've luckily have at a lot of these places I've come, I've had relationships with a lot of the coaches beforehand, just being in the network. And
Yeah.
so in passing, I've known a lot of these people. So working, I've known Bobby forever. He's Keenan's bartender. So shout out to Keenan. Shout out to Scott and the boys over there. But I've known him for a long time, and everyone just raised about the type of person he is. So I'll just come in open minded and say, hey, well, Bob, what do you see? What do you need out of what have you not been getting from athletics?
Yeah.
What can I do to support you?
Yeah.
And then I can say, hey, maybe we could do this, right? Maybe you've been doing it.
So
So
maybe you see something that the prep did a little differently. You think
and
might
I
be
just
better.
bouncing
You gotta-
ideas off him,
Okay,
right? But
yeah.
it's a collaborative process where we're just kind of spitballing stuff.
Right.
And real quick, so there's 2 big high school announcements coming up this week. Today, Joey O'Brien, LaSalle, 4-star. He was down to Oregon, Notre Dame, Penn State, Clemson. He's making his announcement today.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's about 6'5", receiver, DB. I personally think he's better at DB, but the size is more of a
6'5" DB.
that's the
I
problem,
like
right?
that.
But he's
Oh
a
my
freak.
God.
He's a freak athlete. He's going to be a senior at LaSalle, so he's down to those 4.
How's the speed?
He's good. He's long. He's fast.
Well, he's long.
So,
Yeah.
so how are his hands? Like he's not a
6'5".
receiver.
He plays both. I personally think he's better on I think his
That
instincts
says
are
something.
better defensively.
Okay.
You think he's a safety?
I think
He's
so.
6'5"
Those 4
corner, man.
schools. Now I think
That's a lockdown corner. If
It's
he's got
coming
the
today.
speed
You're
and the
draping over
hips.
a guy.
yeah, it's just coming. He's making his announcement today. I third. It's down to Notre Dame, and Penn State. Franklin's
man.
making a big push to
Oh
keep the
man,
best player in the
Anthony
States.
wins either way.
Yeah, so it's going to be down there. So that'll be today, and then next the
You lead.
25th, Sammy Jackson, Mark's son.
Yes.
He's going to be a rising senior. He's making his commitment. He's down to Indiana, Texas, VCU, St. Joe's, and that is coming on the 25th.
This is the younger because the other guy's going to Lafayette.
The one went to Lafayette.
Yeah.
Though it's Sharif. He graduated.
Yeah.
Sammy is a year behind him.
Yeah.
He will make his decision this week coming up. And then there's a younger one, Shane, who's going into 9th grade.
Okay.
But yeah, so Texas, Indiana, VCU, SJU. That's his final 4.
Wow.
Local kid
SJU.
up the
I
street.
hope it's SJU.
Local kid up the street at Roman Catholic.
Oh wait, what should I say? You?
SJU.
Yeah, which
SJU.
one?
Oh,
St.
no,
Joe's?
No, St. Joe's. Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know, you meant St. John's maybe.
Nah, I don't.
No,
I don't.
Yeah,
Come on, man. We're
yeah,
local.
yeah,
We don't.
yeah.
No, we
Yeah,
want
yeah,
Jill to get. We want Jill to
Yeah,
get.
Yeah,
we'll
so
go to Joe.
that would be really great for them. So, fingers crossed for SJU for local
Yeah,
guys.
that'd
My
be
boy,
nice.
my
VCU,
boy,
Phil,
Boo.
Phil's there over there now. Phil Martelli Jr. So
Yeah.
I pull for those guys as well.
Yeah.
Local guys there.
I love Phil Jr. Yeah. My man Boo said, we need Joey O'Brien at the Irish. Come on.
If I had to guess, I would say he's going to the Irish.
Go to,
This-
how could Joey O'Brien not go to Notre Dame?
it's true.
Right.
I mean, it all makes. And that was his last visit. I always think that. So they do the official visits. Notre Dame was the last one. That was like last week or 2
That's
weeks
the
ago.
closer spot.
So you got the closer. I think it's.
Yeah, that's the closer spot.
I think I like to be first or last, right? Either set the tone where no one can match it, or you go last and you knock it out of the park. But yeah, 2 big announcements. Really hopeful for those kids. I'm excited to see how they grow and they finish out their last high school year here and then they move on. So big time.
Yeah, it's weird how you start in a couple of weeks and they're getting 6-6 transfers. I'm seeing from Penn Charter. They got 6-6 kids reclassifying rolling in.
So where have you been attacking first? Hoops?
I mean, look, I'm just helping the coaches out, man. Whoever.
No. But what?
I mean, it's tough to. It's weird to say, but this is the time of year where basketball. There's a lot of movement. Over this summer period, there's Philly Live. That starts today. That tournament we talked about.
Yes, the Philly
this weekend
Live
and next weekend.
Right.
So Philly Live, if you want to go watch it, it's at Jefferson University and the Six-Man Center. Every college coach that I've been talking to them, they're going to be in town. All the 220 teams from all over the country this weekend, next weekend at those 2 places. So I'll give a little recap. And then my last thing, the Carpenter Cup.
Yeah.
So that just happened. So I'm going to break down.
Yeah.
So that's, local baseball teams, like the select teams
That's
from
a
each
big
league.
deal. Yeah, Carpenter Cup.
So my guy Jimmy Stinsman over at Prep, he was one of the coaches for the Final Four was Chester versus Delaware County. Chester County won 7-3 in the semifinal, and then it was Burlington County versus the PCL. PCL lost 9-3.
Wow, they beat Burlington County, beat them.
So then Burlington County defeated Chester County 4-0 in the championship. Burlington County,
they got a lot of talent.
Shout out Burlington County.
Listen, that South Jersey's got a lot of talent.
So
man.
I don't like to give the love over there, but you gotta give homage. They won it. So.
A lot of baseball, a lot of football.
Yeah,
a lot of talent.
Baseball more so.
Listen, I mean, all those kids getting drafted in the NFL too.
Yeah. They're blowing up.
They're blowing up.
Stepping it up.
That's
the cousins over there now. He's got a buzzing. You're talking about me and PC. This guy, South Jersey.
Hey, stay here because Dr. Lux. This is awesome. We always visit with our Rothman people.
Yep.
And Dr. Lux has been a team physician for several high school, college, and professional teams.
Love that.
So, one of the things that is his passion, and I love this, he oversees injuries in young athletes. So, that's my passion with youth sports. We do our Yo Kid Sports platform. Sports-related concussions, muscular, skeletal, ultrasound, non-surgical treatment of chronic injuries, and injury prevention.
That's amazing.
So, which makes him a perfect guy. And you should be here for this interview.
Yeah, for sure.
Doc, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, guys. Thank you for having me. Good morning. Sorry for a little technical difficulty here, but glad to be up and running. Glad to see you.
Great. Glad to see you. We love visiting with our Rothman docs. You guys are doing God's work, healing us, keeping us doing what we love.
We're trying. Like I tell people all the time, I'm happy to see your name on the score sheet instead of my schedule. But but if you need us, we're here.
So the new AD at Penn Charter is right here. So
congratulations on the
Thank
position.
you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm sure you guys, at some point you should meet off air.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love, Doc, is, I'm the father of 2 young athletes, and that's part of your passion, which is, when you're talking about young athletes and injury prevention, and it's so different at this age. Like my little one, who's going through puberty, just started that process. The voice is just starting to change, right? He's going through a growth spurt. But that's also a dangerous part because that's when you're growing, that's when injuries can happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And we see injuries in young athletes happen around the time of growth spurts and some of those kind of changes. Bones in younger athletes that are skeletally immature, right, meaning they just haven't finished growing yet, are kind of the weakest point in the chain. So young athletes will tend to get more bony injuries, whereas the more seasoned athletes like us, we'll get more ligament tendon things. that'll happen, and because bones tend to grow faster than a lot of, these young athletes, muscles and tendons can stretch out to keep up with it. It puts some of those areas at higher risk for injury.
What can you do? It's one of the club team. I know you were with the Union too, and I think it was Man United. They have their academy, and they shut down their young academy players when they're going through a spurt because they're all monitored, and they usually shut their athlete down for when I guess when you go through a growth spurt, it happens over a finite period of time. Is that you grow in those spurts, which is 20 to 30 days?
Yeah. Yeah. It can be weeks. Sometimes it can be longer. It can be even over a period of a couple months. But yeah, and it can be almost like misleading in a sense because, as a young athlete, you're thinking, all right, well, I'm getting taller, I'm getting stronger, I'm gaining some height, I'm gaining some size. But that's when you're at really, your most vulnerable. But, they don't really, that thought doesn't really dawn on them the way, like it kind of makes sense to us as, more, mature, learned, adults.
Well, that's why I thought Man United was fascinating. That they're big sports science in young athletes and shutting them down. Like, hey, listen, we're going to shut you down, and then we're going to ease you back in.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, there's the danger obviously with doing too much at any given point in time, but especially around those periods of increased and rapid growth.
What's your best? You talk about prevention. When we think about prevention, what is your mantra when it comes to that?
So there's the old saying, right? Like ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. But not all prevention is the same, right? So you try and educate and inform people to keep them from getting hurt in the first place. So like the conversation we're having now, we can have with parents and athletes and athletic directors, right? To kind of put this seed, plant it so that, it kind of comes to fruition and these kind of facts are understood. But then you also have your secondary prevention, which, okay, well, if you have a kiddo who does get an injury, especially around a time of growth, like understanding, okay, this is the injury, this is how you recover, this is how we get you back. But how do we keep you from getting hurt again, right? So kind of reinforcing some of those things that, we're trying to teach and instill so that, again, right, they don't have to come back. They don't have to keep missing time. They don't have to keep, missing out on the things they like to do.
Yeah, and one of the things I see all the time with kids is, especially baseball, is just arm issues because there's no off season anymore. Like you're playing fall ball. It's ridiculous. Like our tournament schedules, little league and travel, and a lot of kids are developing little league arm.
They're throwing
Right.
they're throwing 12 months a year, and there used to be a big, there was breaks, right? Different
Yeah.
seasons for breaks. Now that's kind of going to the wayside, and that just wears you down.
And I remember growing up, like, I'll show my age a little bit here, but like I'm 40. Like growing up, there wasn't, club teams that were playing year round. Like in the fall, you played soccer or football. In the winter, you played basketball or you wrestled or you ran track. In the spring, you played baseball or lacrosse. So, we're getting a lot of activity, a lot of strengthening, a lot of skill development, but it was all different skills because it was all across, different types of activity. And yeah, you worry about, people who are doing too much of the same kind of things year round, no break, no, no varying of the type or intensity of activity they're doing. A couple of years ago, there was a statistic that 31 of the 32 first round NFL draft picks were multi-sport athletes in high school. And I forget what year it was, but it's within the last few years. And a lot of that, skill, physical development, strength, speed, right? Like, you can only get so much from one sport, and what you're getting from other sports and other activities are kind of supplementing that.
Yeah, but here's the issue, right? Because everybody says it. Guys like Daniel say it, that we want you to play multiple sports. College guys will say it, except there is such a pressure on choosing.
Yeah.
On what?
It's a
choose
choosing
what-
one path.
The big thing is because there's money in it, right? To lock you in, right? So there's a lot of that training aspect locks you in, right? And then I think the kids who are naturally great athletes do other things, and it's the other kids like, oh, I got to catch up, so I have to do this year round, right? Which it's a misleading. It's not really how you see it. You should be developing yourself and doing a little bit on the side, but also playing another sport, right? It helps you grow and develop, like Doc said. Like it really helps your bones and it makes you stronger. And opposed to just doing the same repetition over and over, you're gonna blow out your arm, right? So it's a lot of it misconception is the trainers, I believe, because there's money in it. So people are
Yeah.
pushing you, oh, you got to do it, you got to do it. And parents are just misled, and it's information that we got to give out.
I'm not in this world, but so if you're on a baseball team during the baseball season and you're good, and just say you want to play football or basketball in the fall, that team is still playing baseball. If you go back, will you kind of be penalized for not playing with them throughout the year?
Yeah. So here's the deal: like we're sitting in that spot. So my son plays travel ball, Doc, and he's the little league. We got little league going on with the All Stars, and the travel baseball tournaments are still happening. Well, football's around the corner, and my son is a quarterback, right? So this is a big year for him for baseball because they moved to the big field. So they moved to the big field in the fall. So like I don't know. I gotta have a conversation. Factually, Coach Jim is a good coach, but I gotta have this conversation where it's like, dude, like we'll try to make some tournaments, but like he's got to focus. He's the quarterback. Like he's got to focus on his. He got practice and a walkthrough 6 days a week.
But also throwing a football is a different movement, right? And will make your arm stronger, and it will make him a better pitcher in the long run. He might have when he first gets back, there might be an adjustment because he's not been there all the time. But like long term, it's a no-brainer that he should do both, and it'll make him better, right? People are just in the moment. People are just too locked in the moment. They're not thinking down the road.
I've seen it where kids are being held. It goes against them because they're playing another sport. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Doc, I got to tell you, I talked to you all day, man. You're fantastic, buddy.
Can I ask one last question?
Yeah,
I'm
please.
We usually have like bone people on. You do a lot of musculoskeletal.
Yeah.
So there's so many ligament and tendon injuries that people our age as we get older. What's the best thing we can do for that? Just stretch? Can we stretch the ligaments and tendons?
Yeah. So you can, right? So tendons are the connection between a muscle and a bone, right? So it's the actual part where, like you take, for example, like your calf, right? Your calf muscle comes down back of the leg, becomes the Achilles, and the Achilles tendon is what connects it to the heel. So yeah, you can definitely stretch out tendons. You don't want to stretch out ligaments too much because then that can be bad. Then you get ligament looseness. But yeah, stretching is a big one, right? Varying activity, so we're talking about, doing different types of activity, sports, things like that to keep our young athletes healthy and limit injury. We could do the same thing for us, so whether it's, a couple of days a week, you're hitting the gym and you're lifting, and then maybe you're biking, or now that it's summer, swimming, now that pools and stuff are open, pickleball, obviously that's a big one, right? Everyone's playing pickleball now. People are still doing pickup basketball and softball, right? So, staying active, right? Motion is medicine. So,
nice.
That's nice.
Motion is medicine.
You better trademark that, Doc.
Yeah. I wish I was clever enough to come up with that on my own, but
put on a t-shirt.
Pretty sure it's already out there trademarked. But doing all kinds of varied sort of stuff, like that, and not just strengthening, but flexibility, stability exercises, how many stories do you hear about, running backs who also did like yoga and Pilates or even ballet, right? Like for the ability to have, strength and stabilization of those really smaller muscle groups that you don't think about, as much as you think about kind of the big, glamour muscles. But yeah, stretching definitely, staying active, varying up the activity, and just not pushing it too much, like kind of let your body tell you when enough is enough.
Cool. Good
Doc,
advice. Good advice.
That's just fantastic, Doc. We really appreciate it, man.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
Let's do this again, buddy. All right.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to. We're in a little bit of a lull, because NBA finals, wearing down. We got Game 7 coming up. Hockey's over. We're getting ready for training camp, but we're in the throes of baseball season. So
You
go
guys sound
Phils.
like a producer here at the show.
Go Phils.
Got it all.
Go Phils, man.
Well
Good
versed.
stuff,
All right,
man.
guys.
From
Love
Rothman
you.
Orthopedics. We love you, buddy.
All
Thanks,
right, guys.
pal.
You take
It's
care.
great
Have
meeting
a
you. Have a good one.
Dr. John Lux.
He was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he was
Dr.
awesome.
John, he was
I think he's a sportsman, man.
He's a total sportsman.
He was
you
dropping
know
some
it.
info.
Total sportsman. Total sportsman. All right, brother. Listen, always
great seeing you.
my
Yep.
brother. Danny D, the AD.
Have a great weekend, guys.
We love
See
him.
you, Danny.
Brought
you
to
too,
us
guys.
by Cherry Hill Jeep, making Varsity. Coming up, Phillies, Mets, Butterflies.
Yeah.
John
Love
Brazer in the house, and Romano Stromboli, a bowling update.
Dude, I love a bowlie.
All right.
Oh, man.
So our good friends Dan Romano, I know we're going to get them both up here because I know that that Braze will like some Stromboli, and we'll have some fun
You
with.
can ask him about the closer's name we have, too, the Romano Romano.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, let's get some clarification on this.
All right, we'll talk a little bit about some of our friends, shall we?
Yeah. Let's talk about TrueMark, because summer's here, which means your kids, they're out and about and they're hanging with friends, and maybe they've picked up a summer job. So this is a perfect time to help set them up with something that teaches them real-world money skills and gives them a little freedom. The Green Light Debit Card and Money app. Totally cool program over at TrueMark. And if you're a TrueMark financial member, this program's free. Free for your kids or teens, and it's a simple way for them to manage their own money, whether it's from a job, allowance, birthday cash, or graduation. They'll get their own debit card, they can set savings goals, they can track spending and learn how to budget, all while you stay in the loop from your phone. You're still in control, but they get to learn how money really works in everyday life. So before the summer rush kicks in, this is a great way to help your kids build some smart money habits that'll stick with them long after the season's over and give them skills they'll use for the rest of their lives. So head over to truemark.com/greenlight and get all the details and sign up today. Don't miss this chance to set your kids up for financial success. This is a really great program. truemark.com/greenlight. And floors. Every good building, house, home, room starts with a good floor. And just like your home team needs a home court field advantage, your home could use a floor advantage. Empire Today, they got flooring experts. All they do is flooring. They are obsessed with flooring. Not like the bigger stores. If you go there, if you go to do the project on your own, you go to the store, you try and find products that you like, you try and find tools, and you get home, and you probably don't have the right tools, and you probably screwed up measurements. So don't even bother. Empire handles it all. And what makes a difference is they bring this showroom right to you. So they got a computer. You take a picture of your room that you want to put floors in, pick out some samples, and you can see what the floor looks like right in your room before you do anything. So they take the guesswork out of it. And you get clear, upfront, all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. So don't wait. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are better done at home. PHLY listeners can receive a $350 discount when using the promo code PHLY. You heard it right, $350 discount with the code PHLY. Restrictions do apply. Visit Empire Today/PHLY for full details.
All right, I love it, love it, love it. All right, lots to do. All right, you're not in a hurry, are you? Because I need you for a little bit.
No, I just got to be back by 11:30. I should be good.
All right, because we got a monster series.
Monster is the operative word. It's bigger than monster.
I mean, I got butterflies. I didn't think. I told VG, I was like, we're not going to have butterflies. Next time we'll have butterflies, we'll have Eagles in playoff baseball, right? Like the playoff Phillies. This is a series that I got. This is awesome. Yeah. Phillies bats.
We're in late June. You're right. Normally you don't have butterflies talking about an upcoming series, but the Mets knocked us out last year.
Hate them.
And we hate them.
Hate them.
I still am scarred from 2007. Now, obviously, we ended up,
Oh, I know.
Putting them in place. But if you remember that ballpark, all the Mets fans would come down, and you'd hear the Jose Reyes,
Yes,
drove me crazy.
And Reyes.
I couldn't even be in the.
David Wright.
Yes.
Jose Reyes.
If something happened in the stands, I basically would have to. Sometimes I couldn't take it if the Mets are doing well.
Yes.
I'd have to go into my office. And then I'm in the office and I'm hearing cheers. I'm like, oh, great, the Phillies did something. But no, it's all the Mets fans that are cheering something. So, yes, I'm not a fan. I literally might say, now, again, I work for the Phillies, so I can say this. But, I'm a four-sport guy. but more than Dallas, more than Giants, more than the Celtics, more than the Lakers, more than the Bruins, more than the Penguins, more than it's the Mets. There's number one, my number one nemesis.
Yeah. No, I listen.
I think it's because I'm a season ticket
for
holder.
me behind the Cowboys.
The pain, the pain those fans put you through down there, they're brutal. They're the worst. They're the worst.
That's
humans,
probably
maybe.
why
Yes.
I don't like them as much as, or I like them least.
Plus
Yes.
the players, they're just
Yeah.
they're gross. I just hate them.
Polar
So hang for 1 second because we got our buddy Dan Romano here.
I just tried their Stromboli. Awesome, yes.
How great is that?
Really
Stromboli?
good, right? But I still, because we have Jordan Romano, I don't know if it's Romano or Romano.
Yeah, so-
Romano.
Right?
No, I knew it was Romano.
Yeah. But why is Jordan Romano?
He said this in spring training. Now, if I'm getting this right, he said in America they call him Romano, but in Canada they all call him Romano. But he goes by either. He says
really? He says it's either.
Yeah, he says. Well, I think you'd probably rather just everyone stay with Romano, but
It should be Romano. That's how you say it. Romano. It's a beautiful name.
well, maybe if he gets free Strombolis
Right.
for life, then he'll change it to Romano.
We got to get. We got to get Jordan your Stromboli.
I know.
I'll drop it off in his locker today.
We got to do that.
I'll grab that.
Let's do it.
All right, we got to do that because this just makes it's the closer Stromboli. Like, it's great. Like, are you kidding me? Be fantastic. So you got an update here.
We do.
So tell us about the update. What's happening?
So we were here last year.
Because we love hers.
Yeah, we love hers.
Make hers yours. Look at this.
They're doing their 2025 Philly flavored Crunch Off. It's the last 3-year winners: Long Hots, Sharp Prove, Corpelese Tomato Pie, and the special hot Stromboli from Romano's.
That's fantastic.
Cool.
Look at this. We're a hers family. We're a big hers family. So I got to taste this chip. This was a great chip last year. The special hot Stromboli.
Got a little kick.
But not too much of a kick.
No, not too much.
That's delicious.
Ridiculous.
How do they get the Stromboli, and it tastes like your Stromboli into a chip? It's amazing.
My grandfather, my dad was just telling a story, John, here. We were talking about how much time he went through it. They came in a couple times, and my grandfather pushed them back and said, nope, you got to do this, you got to do that.
Wow.
It was fun. They had a good time with it, and I think they hit it. Yeah.
They hit it, man. That's delicious. Dude, that's a great. I watched my Phillies with that and this. Now what do you got here?
That's the special hot Stromboli. That's
This is
right
the
here.
chip.
This is
That's what it's based
Stromboli
on.
that based on the flavor.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, you have to go back to back. Go back to back. Have that, then have a chip, and you'll see the
Oh, dude, that thing
parallels,
is-
the similarities.
Are you kidding me with that?
That's good stuff, isn't it?
That's ridiculous.
So what's at stake this year is whoever wins gets a permanent chip for hers. Pretty
Really?
cool, huh? Yeah,
But look like it,
that's great. That's great.
dude. That's ridiculous.
And you gotta dip it in the marinara though.
Wild.
You gotta get the marinara sauce. Yeah.
I don't like to dip the boli in the marinara. I never do that. I like the boli standalone because to me the boli stands alone. I know what the marinara tastes like. I
Right.
don't need it. I want the boli taste. That's old school. You know what I mean? That's fantastic. Good for you
thank you.
guys,
Yeah,
man.
it's been a big year. After we were here, we won the contest last year, and then you and I kept in touch. We actually expanded the business. We now bought a production facility, so we're now producing slowly, and we're going to go into retail stores, frozen shelves. and stuff like
Did you
that.
know the whole story that they invented the Stromboli?
I heard it back there. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm part of history over here, right?
Right, like they invented the Stromboli. Like,
This year's
call-
imagine that.
Never was called a Stromboli before, right?
Yep, my great grandfather named it in 1950. This is the 75th anniversary in December. We actually just registered, try and get it to be a national holiday, National Stromboli Day. It's not,
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's got to be a
Gotta
Stromboli
be a
there.
National
Stromboli
Day, right?
rules. Like we've been boli people our whole lives. Like the boli's always a big staple in our house.
Yeah.
You know, that's fantastic. Now, what's the I always meant to ask you the relationship between Stromboli and Stromboli, which is an Italian island. You know, Stromboli.
Yeah, so Stromboli is an Italian island. It's a volcanic island off
Right.
the coast
Off of Sicily.
Yeah.
Canary Islands, and they The connection is that in 1950, a movie came out called Stromboli.
Right.
It starred
Stromboli. Sophia
Ingrid
Loren?
Bergman. Ingrid
Okay.
Bergman. She was collaborating with Roberto Rossellini. She had asked to do a film with him, and they fall in love while they're doing the movie. Unfortunately, they were already married to other people with children, and the relationship they had a child. It's a big story, very big story. Grandpa had already had this on the counter, was selling it in the shop in Essington without a name. And a friend of ours was in the store, William Schofield, gave it the name.
Get out.
It was
Off the movie?
off the movie.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it was topical. It was worldwide news that
Sure.
this scandal broke out about them. Everybody was talking about it at that time. It was called the scandal of the decade.
Wow.
And Uncle Bill was asked to name it, and he said Stromboli right off the top of his head, and it stuck. And there wouldn't be anybody in Delaware County, Philadelphia, anywhere that would sell anything with that name until 1956. So we had already been doing it for 6 years before that happened.
You know what's amazing? Like, even the look, like, that's a Stromboli. It's amazing how that name translated, and I look at that, I go, that's a Stromboli.
Stromboli.
That's freaking unbelievable. Fantastic. Boys, I got to tell you, so cool, man. So cool.
Well, thank you
How do we
for-
vote for the chip? Like,
Yeah, so
what's
you
the
can
deal?
go
How do we vote for it?
on
We got to
to,
vote for this chip.
HERS' site, and you can vote, or you can text
80
Stromboli.
80160. You can text that number and then type in Stromboli, and you will be voting.
I love
for
it.
Look
I'm
for us
voting.
in
I'm voting. I'm voting.
stores.
I'm voting.
We're also in
Sure
the
appreciate it.
concession
love it.
Appreciate
stands
it.
at the Philadelphia Union home games. We have a
Nice.
concession stand there, and we'll be in retail stores. around you.
I'm smelling a Philly Stromboli soon.
There
All
we
right,
go.
Boy,
that's
you
down the line.
your lips to God's ears.
I want a Philly Stromboli. All right,
All right.
It goes perfect. Fantastic.
Yeah.
My brother, listen,
you very
boys,
much.
always great to have you.
Go
Keep me
Phils.
posted on what's going on. I'll give the update.
I will.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right, brother.
Appreciate it.
Go Phils, man.
Kill the Mets.
I love
There
it.
you
That's
go.
right, buddy.
There you
That's
go.
right. There they are. There are Romanos. All right.
I just voted.
It's
fellas.
overtime, by the way. OT. You just voted.
Yeah.
Look at that. Already voting, boys. OT. Here we go. All right. Dude, I'm so excited.
Well, you got a lot of storylines. You got Zach Wheeler going tonight, right? Zach Wheeler, obviously, against the team that probably thought he was an injury, from ending his career, but he's become probably the best pitcher since we signed him. Might be the greatest free agent signing, not just Phillies, but
In the whole town.
of the whole town. I mean, that he right now, Scooble, maybe Strider if he was healthy. I mean, right now, Skeens, obviously, but Zach Wheeler is one of the great pitchers right now of the generation.
Well, I look at, what's nuts about this? I was opening the show with it because we go through the pitching matchups. And we just got off of two incredible starts with Ranger and Sanchez.
And I love how I love Sanchez too, but Ranger is that old school, we've talked about it before, that old school pitcher that's location, control. He's got multiple pitches and he knows when to use them, or at least he's in sync with JT or Marshawn.
No, without a doubt. But we were talking about this, and my favorite, Wheeler's, I love Wheeler. But other than Wheeler, I'm a lizard man. I love Lizardo.
Yeah.
Right? I'm the lizard. I love him. Nola, who has been a workhorse for this team, who has been the inning eater of all inning eaters, right? Is now the fifth starter. I was having this. I was going to pitch Greg, in fact, a story that when in 2011 you and I were with the Four Aces, and I had Gary Smith. I talked him into doing the SI stories on the Aces. This rotation's better.
Right. And then you throw in Mick Abel, right? And then you throw in at some point Andrew Painter's coming in. Mick Abel, we just had him on our podcast. I as you know, I do a podcast with Tom Burgoyne.
Which is a great podcast.
Backstage with Burgoyne and Brazer. And our the interview that's the most recent is Mick Abel. And I tell you what is he, 23 years old? I'm telling you guys, he is about as mature. I mean, he's talking about the mental approach and how he's gone through that and how he went through some, tribulations last year in AAA. And, guys need to fail and it's better for them to fail in the minor leagues. Learn how to come back. Everyone's going to fail in baseball, and it's better. It's best to see how you can respond back to that. So he had that failure last year, and he comes to the major leagues. He's got the third tier, the upper deck, right? And he's looking around. He said, everyone tells you don't look up in your first start. Just look, just tunnel vision, look at the catcher, and and it's the same game you've been playing all your life. And even the Cubs. I mean, the Cubs got to him a little bit, but he has been unbelievable for a young kid that age with expectations as a former first-round draft pick.
Oh yeah, no. I think what stands out to him is that I think he knows how to pitch.
Yep.
That's the one thing. But this rotation is better than 2011. Like when you think about the playoffs, usually you get the game 3 starter, you're like, all right, we can hit him, right? Game 4 in a 7-game series, you're a 4 starter. All right, well, here, there's no breath because you're going Wheeler, Luzardo, Sanchez, Ranger.
In whatever order. Now, the other thing, the 2011 team was more seasoned. Like you look at the back of their baseball card,
Lee,
it was more of a veteran, whereas these guys have the upside. We don't know what their upside is, Sanchez. We're seeing him just keep going up and up.
But Oswalt at that point wasn't Roy Oswalt.
You're right. He was kind of
the Astros.
Right. Now, Halladay and Lee and Hamels, were right in their prime. But yeah, I mean, these guys have the potential to be. You're right. I mean, right now there's a healthy debate. If the playoffs started right now, obviously Zach Wheeler is your number one. But who is? And let's say Noel is healthy. Who is your number 2? You could really. Rob Thompson could pick out of a hat.
Yeah.
Right. Because Ranger Suarez is a cool customer. What you're going to get from him. Sanchez is just filthy.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to get there. Noel is a workhorse, assuming back to what Nola was before the injury. I mean, you've got a lot of options, and then who knows?
One thing about Ranger is that I have confidence in Ranger that I can bring him in out of the pen. Like he's got such great temperament that
and he's done it before.
He's right, and he's a weapon out of the pen. Like if I need him to go 2-3 innings, he can do that. I need him for one batter, he can do that. Like he is such an advantage. Whereas I'm not sure how Sanchez or Luzardo would do out of the pen. So Ranger, I know, can do it.
I would like to see. I love Sanchez. I mean, he's one of my. I was in spring training. I think even when I was on the show with you, I was saying before the season started that I think he's a dark horse for Cy Young because he just has wipeout. He's just he's filled out.
Wipeout stuff.
He's filled out. He's got an out pitch, with the changeup. He's just filthy. I mean, he throws hard. So I mean, I'm not being a proponent of him going to the bullpen, but it would be interesting to see. I mean, if he wasn't so valuable as a starter, it would be interesting to see what he would be like at the back end of the bullpen with the stuff he has.
Well, it's funny because he's the guy that translates to the back end.
Stakes told us that early on.
Yeah, more than anybody.
Right.
Because he throws hard. Right? Like if you're going to pitch back end, Ranger's better middle setup, whereas back end you need somebody who throws gas. And that's what Sanchez could do.
Yeah, I would hate to see. We'll see how it plays out. But Suarez, I love seeing how he just mixes up all the pitches and location and everything. It'd be tough to take him out of that rotation. But it's a great problem to have. If we're talking about this, it's a great problem to have.
If everybody stays healthy, I mean, they're saying the pundits will say they need a couple arms in the bullpen, but one of those arms is probably going to come from the staff. I mean, they add a bullpen piece, but at least one of these starters is going to be in the bullpen.
Because you're going to have a surplus of talent.
Yeah,
unless you trade away some of that talent to get something else.
Right.
So, and it's good to see too that everyone's talking about the outfield as of 2 weeks ago when we went through that bad stretch, but Kepler's playing well right now. Marsh has been on fire, and I tell you what, the guy that I think I'm most happy for is Bohm. Bohm's been under the gun since last year at the end of the season, and I tell you what, he's just been last month he's been unbelievable.
Yeah,
right.
He's one of the best third basemen in baseball offensively the last month.
Just clutch situations and. And Cassie's been pretty consistent all year. I don't think he's dipped below 270 pretty much the whole season, knock on wood. And no, it's just fun. But we got to get Harper back. We got to get everyone kind of playing in sync.
Bryce needs to come back.
Yeah, which hopefully that's sooner than later. So,
what's going to be going on this weekend? Because it's great because every game is a nationally televised game.
Yep.
Right? They're all big games, concluding Sunday night. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, which I love.
He has Apples tonight. Apples tonight, 7:15. Fox is Saturday. I know Ken Rosenthal obviously is coming in town.
Mr. Bowtie.
Yep, I think Smoltz maybe is coming in, right?
Yeah.
And then we got the Sunday night, so it's gonna be the Mets. It's we don't have any giveaways. You don't need a giveaway with the Mets in town.
I'm saying this is the weekend.
Yeah.
Man. This is baseball. This is where it's always great to have dollar dog nights and giveaways and all the fun stuff. But this is when it comes down to baseball.
Right.
Like, this is weekends I love.
We have things going on, but you're right. It's and we've had a great week. We've had, if you remember, we had Jason Kelsey in the stands, which was great. Jason Kelsey, by the way, and I know you know him well. Of all the people I've met in working in sports 32 years, I tell you, there's no person that's more down to earth. And I had to guide him through the crowd, and it was like a Taylor Swift crowd. I mean, there were people. Little kids crying like, please do this. He stopped all the time, took the selfies, signed autographs, was very gracious
he's
to
a great
everybody.
dude.
He is about as down to earth as you can. So that was pretty cool. We had that. The other day we had Nakobe Dean throughout the first pitch, which was great. Super. I love him. We also had Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who won the
NASCAR.
He won the Daytona 500 in 2023, and then we also had Diplo down there. Get
out!
Yeah, so we had on the field pregame. We had Diplo, Nakobe Dean, and again Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And the funny thing is, Diplo and Nakobe spent some time in Vegas, and he's telling Diplo, man, I was about to see your show, but then I couldn't do it because of this. I really want to see it, and it's funny to see different celebrities from different walks of life, that are kind of bonding.
Are you have any special first pitch people this weekend?
Nothing off the charts.
Okay.
We do have David Boreanaz. I know you know David. He's coming. He's not throwing the first pitch, but he's coming to the game on Sunday. So I knew David when I was friends with his older sister, so I knew him when he was a little kid.
I talked to him 2 days ago.
Yeah.
2 days ago.
I know he's a huge Flyers guy, but he started becoming a big Phillies guy.
He's for Eagles, Phils, he's 4 for 4.
Yep.
Yeah, DB's 4 for 4. That's fantastic. You see this kid right here?
Yep.
Joey?
Eating
the pizza?
Yeah.
Working hard.
He's best friends with somebody on your team.
Oh, is that right?
You
want me to take a guess?
Give you $1. Come on, you guys are buddies.
Give me the hint. Give me the hint of how he knows him, and then I'll see if I can take a guess.
Well, he lives across the street from his father.
Okay. Does your father live in Haddonfield? Morristown. Okay.
Here you go, playing the question.
I know.
I mean, they're mostly in Haddonfield.
Yeah, they are mostly in Haddonfield.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna just put a random out there. Marsh. No, not Marsh. Who we got?
How about Casty?
Oh, Cassie. Yeah, there you go. All right.
Topper's favorite outfielder.
I love what the other day he was, I think it was on Sunday, when he did the post-game press conference. This is before all that. He had the post-game press conference. He doesn't have a shirt on. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And then one reporter was on this side, all the scrub of reporters. And I guess two guys were talking at the same time. And he gives like one of these, pick one, right?
Yeah.
And it just, he's so unique.
Well, he's so unfiltered.
Yes.
Right?
And he's his own guy.
He's giving the women what they want. And then Twitter blows up when he does the shirtless press conferences.
Right.
I know my sister's a big fan of the shirtless press conference with him.
It's great. It's great.
That's fantastic. My brother, it is always great to see my
always
main
good to
man.
see you guys.
Kidding me?
Awesome.
This is awesome. Let
Go
me know
Phils.
when we're going to
Are
do
you
the
coming down at all?
podcast. I got baseball. We have baseball every day.
All right.
So we have, I got a game today this is the Little League District Finals.
Yep.
Then we're playing up in Bucks County Saturday and Sunday.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
But
you'll be keeping an eye on the Mets series.
Listen,
Yeah,
I mean, we're our team. Like, I help coach. Like, we're Phillies are top of the front lobe.
Yep.
Like, we're always all the coaches, everybody. Like, we're gonna go to Cooperstown later in the summer, and it's always we're Phillies.
Yeah. I went to
I'm gonna get you to some of these youth, like this youth baseball stuff.
Yeah,
awesome.
I only have a daughter, as you know, so I love checking out. I go to lacrosse games, football games. I like seeing Americana at its finest.
I get Charlie to come out to the games. He loves it.
Charlie's the best.
He's the the kids love him.
Tell you what,
Anthony. That kid's pretty good, Anthony.
Can I tell a quick story about Charlie Manuel?
Please.
This is the best. So Charlie comes down to fantasy camp every year. So this is about 3 years ago. We're just hanging out, talking. I said, Charlie, I know you played in Japan for 3 years. Like, if you read a Japanese newspaper, could you read it? Like, do you still retain the words? Can you speak at all? If someone's speaking Japanese to you, can you retain any of it? And he said, I'll tell you what, a couple, here and there. He said, I read a newspaper, I get a couple, some words. So he's being very modest about it, right? So 2 days later, we had this big, we call it the bull session, where any camper can ask any of the legends, Larry Boa, anybody, a question. And someone stood up and said, hey, Charlie, when you played in Japan, I heard they had, songs for everybody. The whole audience would sing a song. Do you remember your song? Charlie stands up, and I swear to God, for a minute, he's singing in Japanese, his song. So picture Charlie Emanuel singing in Japanese, and he just told me he doesn't really speak the language. And you could hear a pin drop because nobody even took out their cell phone because everyone was so stunned for a minute that they didn't know what to do. They had to watch Charlie sing in Japanese. It was absolutely breathtaking.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I freaking love it.
Yeah. So next time you see him, you'll have to get him to sing the sing the song.
Yeah.
Brazer, you might have the best Charlie impersonation I've heard. He's pretty good when he talks like Charlie.
I think I'm better.
You think you're better?
I think I'm better.
I don't know.
He's
I spent a lot of time with him.
He's literally one of my favorite people on this earth right here. So
I like
the
Brazer.
best.
Brazer's hot. I don't know. The guy with the beard over here is VG. Fucking weird. That's what he'll do. He'll curse. People don't realize he's got a trucker mouth.
Yeah, Charlie's the best. And he can also be tough. A lot of people think he's just good old Uncle Charlie, but man, he pulled a couple players in there and put the fear of God in him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the other one, sorry, I got one more. One of my favorites, and I might have told this to you. He was down before we hired him as a manager, right? He was doing a super scout, and he'd go to scout, down in Florida. He'd scout high school, college, whatever, and our minor leagues. So after a long day of scouting, dinner, he comes back to his condo, and he's about to put the key into the condo, and he hears this crashing noise inside. Someone's breaking into his condo, right? So Charlie's like, all right, he's a big man. So he opens up the condo door, and he knows there's an umbrella stand right there. He grabs the umbrella, turns on the light, and takes on the attacker. It was a pelican that he left his sliding glass doors open, and a giant pelican was flying all over, knocking down lamps. And right when Charlie turned on the light, the pelican went towards the source of light, and it started attacking Charlie. And Charlie's fighting him off with the umbrella. I would pay if there was a security camera inside that condo. How much would you pay to see Charlie taking on hey,
bird. Damn pelican. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Do you guys know, on the back end of the inner workings, do you know if there's a lot of Mets? Can you tell if there's a lot of New Yorkers coming ahead of time?
I just know, in history, there's always Mets fans, even when they're bad, but you don't hear them.
Right. I was just wondering if they knew by zip codes who's got the tickets and stuff.
We could probably tell for the most part. And there will be. They're going to be loud, and
they're feeling good.
They're feeling as good as you get on a 6-game losing streak. But and they've got a kid pitching today that I think he's only pitched 3 innings and
did well, yeah.
Right, and then I think Senga's out for
a year.
Right?
They're bad. They're
banged up. Now they do have Peterson going Sunday, who's tough lefty. I forget who's going tomorrow of their guys. Is it McGill?
Griffin Canning.
Canning, right. But he started off gangbusters, and he's starting to come down to earth. Yeah.
He got Philly fights put up crooked numbers tomorrow.
And tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe even Sunday.
Yeah, I like it. Lizard is going to strike out 11 Sunday night.
Yeah, I like it.
I love the Lizard.
Love it.
This stuff, you knew he was tipping because there's no way in the world that they're going to sit on that fast. No way. There was something going on. And that's why, kudos, the Phillies pitching. I mean, first of all, the coaching staff is elite.
Yep.
And to detect the glove, I just thought that was big. That was huge.
I just think what I think one of the coolest stories that gets somewhat underreported is that he learned the sweeper last year, and he didn't even throw the sweeper at all last year. So he learns a pitch, he throws it, and now he's throwing it this year. And at one point, he was getting a 47% whiff rate on the sweeper, a pitch that he'd never thrown in the major leagues up until this season. Right now, you can say is a sweeper really a slurve? Is it right? Talk to an old school baseball guy; they'll roll their eyes when you say the word sweeper.
Yeah.
But, the fact that he developed this pitch that's, a wipeout pitch for him is pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome. And he throws hard. Like, I love it. Love it. Pumped
it's
up.
fun
Let's
rotation.
do the 5 aces this time.
All right. Sounds good.
We'll do it. JB.
All right.
The
See you
great
guys.
John Brazer. We love JB. That's our main man. Getting pumped up for some Phillies Mets.
Ready for tonight.
Cannot wait. VG will be in the house. Yeah. It's going to be Citizens Bank Park will be fired up. We got our boy. It's Friday. What are we watching other than the Phillies? TV Todd will tell us.
Come on. You can't handle the truth.
It's time for TV time.
It's Todd. Oh, look at him with the Jaws shirt. Strong.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's a good shirt.
Today's the day, man. June 20th, 1975, baby.
I love it. I love that you got a shirt for the day. This is great.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, my
man.
parents heard me on the show last week, and they sent this out. And in fairness, they really should have, because again, they took me to see this film when I was 7 years old.
How great is that?
Not traumatized at all.
Were you down the shore? Because remember, because it happened in the summer, there were a lot of people that saw movies down the shore. When it was a rainy day, everybody went to the movies down the shore.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we saw it on the boulevard, and I guess the funniest part of the story is that, I went at 7, was terrified. My sister was probably 5. She was probably 5 years old sitting in Jaws in 1975.
How crazy is that?
Wild what happened.
That is unbelievable.
Were you
Awesome.
afraid of the ocean after that for a little bit or no?
I was afraid of anything blue or water. I was terrified, of course.
Dude, like we used to go down, we would go to Wildwood or something. There's so much like seaweed and stuff hitting your legs. It would bug me out. When I was a kid, man, I was not comfortable in the water after watching Jaws.
I don't think I'm any different today, to be honest. I prefer a pool.
I see those people who go out pretty far. I'm like, man, they're nuts. Totally nuts. That is not me at all.
It's Baldy. Baldy swims with sharks.
Yeah, Baldy's like swims 2 miles out. Like if I'm doing that, I'm Baldy. I swim 2 miles out to go look around. I'm going to be like, what happens if I get tired? I can't get back. Mm-hmm. He doesn't worry about that because Baldy never gets tired. He just swims 2 miles, hangs out, and swims 2 miles back.
Man, it's unbelievable. That movie, the characters are such great characters. Like when you think about the shark itself, right, and the premise, it's a great premise, right? And we know the story you talked about last week about, the brevity and not showing the shark, which made it infinitely more scary. But let's talk about the character development for a second for the movie, because the movie's brilliant. You get like a New York City cop, right? Like, his retirement job is in Amity, right? It's perfect kind of, now you're the chief and, you're a city guy and all these horrific crimes. And now you're worried about, parking zones and everything else. And then you got the mayor who's just, it's all summer, right? Like, about the business, the shore town. He's fantastic. The grizzled, fisherman, that guy, the Quint character. Then you got the young marine biologists. Like, they're great characters, all of them.
Great characters. And I was happy to see that this week, Richard Dreyfuss, who usually is good for, kind of pissing everybody off every time the guy talks. But he came around this week and said, he went back and watched Jaws and he really thought about it. And he said, look, I was a jerk. I was a jerk on set. I was a jerk back then. And I was wrong about the movie. He goes, I thought the movie was going to be a disaster. And he's looking back at it. I was the one that was the jerk. And I'm actually happy he said
really?
that.
Because, so, give me some more backstory there, because I didn't know that he was that much of a jerk.
Well, he's kind of one of those legendary actors that everybody says, in person, he's just disgruntled all the time. He complains all the time. And, there was a play that was off Broadway regarding the making of Jaws that was out that Quint's, Shaw's son actually put together. And a big subject matter of the play was that Shaw and Dreyfus never got along. And he came out and he said, you know what? It's not really true. He goes, we were all pretty much, we sat around a lot because of the mechanical difficulties of the Shark. We were bored. We were frustrated. He's like, it wasn't feeling good or coming together. And he said, I was a bit of a jerk, but it wasn't like I didn't like Shaw. He's brilliant.
How about Scheider? What was his role?
Scheider, man,
I like Roy Scheider. I thought he's a really good actor.
He's one of those actors that I miss, when I really think about guys, like the Gene Hackmans of the world, right? I really miss Roy Scheider, French Connection. That guy was incredible.
He was.
Everything came together for this film. Every single thing. I had it on a loop. Oh, you know what? Last week when I was talking about why it's the greatest film of all time, being the first summer blockbuster, etc., I forgot to mention this. It was the first film to ever gross over $100 million.
Wow.
First one ever.
Really?
Yeah. It grossed $290 million domestically when it came out.
Wow, my God, that's amazing. You know what's nuts? I think about the summer blockbuster and throughout my life. And, you can it's almost like sports where you can go back and look. Like, I remember Close Encounters of the Third Kind was a big one. E.T. was a big one. Like, and, every summer, the boardwalk would have, that would be the mantra. Like, all the T-shirts.
all the
that
shirts,
stuff. And it played, the summer blockbuster played such a role in our society.
It did. And it was a big part in obviously, it was a big deal in the cinema world. Everybody was vying for that summer blockbuster, and Jaws was the first one. It was the first one.
Yeah, what a movie! So well written. The script is. The lines are great.
Dude, last week when you and I were doing it, we were doing the USS Indianapolis speech. And I went back and I watched it this week because it's captivating every time you watch it. But I thought my favorite line in the whole thing was like a doll's eyes rolled over, right?
Yeah.
Right. But then I realized my favorite line is, so 1,100 men went into the water, Chief. 316 men come out. The Sharks took the rest. June the 29th, 1945.
Chills.
That's the best.
Yeah.
The best.
The other, my second favorite is when he goes, I forget the guy's name, but he's like, the third day I went over to my friend Jimmy, whatever his guy's name is, and he's like, baseball player from Cleveland. And like wow. And Shark bit him in half. He was bobbing up and down. Shark bit him in half. Like, I love that. I love it. Baseball player from Cleveland.
And now, we talked about last week, but if you go back and you watch that scene, you'll see Richard Dreyfuss is like locked in and captivated.
Yeah.
And he has since said that that's completely real.
Yeah.
He didn't know that speech really ahead of time.
Yeah.
And he was like fascinated by it.
Yeah. And his delivery, like Robert Shaw's delivery was ridiculous. Like, it was so with the tooth and just the way he looked. I mean, he was just missing a hook for a hand. Like, he had that rolled down so good.
Oh yeah, like when he eats the oyster crackers all the time.
Yeah.
And here, that's another actor that I truly miss. I mean, The Sting. How great was he in The Sting?
Sure. Yeah, that's classic. Classic stuff, dude. Like, I love that you got the shirt on. That's awesome. That's so great.
Just so your listeners know, it's out in the theaters now today, and it's on NBC tonight with an introduction by Spielberg, and then on July 10th, the Jaws at 50 documentary, the definitive documentary, comes out on Hulu and
that's
Disney
great.
Plus.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see that. And that's where we get to Spielberg. Like, he's just, he was just prolific. I mean, had the touch of, like, no one mastered the idea of how to make a blockbuster like him. Like, he just knew all the right buttons. And, that formula has been copied a million times. That was his.
Mm-hmm.
It has been copied a million times, but I don't think anybody in history. Maybe you compare him to like an Alfred Hitchcock, maybe.
Yes.
That you
Yeah.
knew an Alfred Hitchcock
Yeah.
film, like you
Yeah.
knew it.
Yeah.
And I think Spielberg was the same way. And I'm super excited about a film that's coming out today. And I got to tell you, we don't talk about this director enough. And I'm going to go on record and say he is one of the greatest directors of our generation when you look at his body of work. But today, I am pumped because the sequel, 28 years later, premieres today by Danny Boyle. And Danny Boyle, like I said, maybe one of the greatest directors of our time. He did the first movie he ever did that I saw was a great independent film. Your viewers and listeners should go watch. It's called Shallow Grave.
Oh, that's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, right, VG?
Yep.
And
Great
then,
movie.
And then,
Train Spotting is just ridiculous.
But that guy did yesterday. He did 127 hours. He did Slumdog Millionaire.
Yes.
He did the sequel to Train Spotting. I mean, this guy is, talk about prolific. And so this movie that comes out today is the third movie in a series that started back in 2003. And your buddy, who was in it in the first movie, because one of your favorite actors of all time starred in it, Cillian Murphy.
Oh, get out of here. I love Cillian Murphy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So check this out. So he wasn't in the second movie, which was in 2007 called 28 Weeks Later.
Right.
He wasn't in that. And he's not in the movie that is coming out today, 28 years later. But when they shot 28 years later, Danny Boyle also shot a sequel to it. And Cillian Murphy is in that sequel. So he will be in the fourth film. And then there's another one they're making because this is a new trilogy that's starting. And Cillian Murphy is going to star in that whole movie.
Wow, really?
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's great.
You know what I got? I got to get in. I got to go dive in from the beginning because I saw the first one and I remember liking it and it was brilliant. But I didn't give it enough. I only watched it once. Like, I need to go back and watch it again and then dive back. And I never saw the sequel.
Yeah, well, here's what's really cool about it. So the original films were shot almost like camcorder style, like the first one was. And Danny Boyle wants that kind of frantic, real look as, this pandemic is unleashed in the country. So for this new movie, this is pretty cool. He decided to do the modern version of that, which is iPhones, right? So he has this really cool rig I saw online. The rig holds 8 iPhones. It holds 8. It's like a mount with 8 iPhones. And so he can film things and kind of get that Matrix-like, the bullet.
That's awesome.
He can do that, and he's doing it with iPhones to make it a modern version.
Oh, that's freaking brilliant. Oh, that dude's amazing.
Critics are loving it already. I'm going to see it probably, not tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah,
so I'm really excited about it.
That's fantastic. You kidding me?
It'll be good stuff.
Yeah, that's great. That's great stuff. I can't wait. I might devote like a whole Yeah. Dive into No? You're out, huh?
He's not giving it any love right now.
Why?
It's not my thing, man.
He's not into zombies.
What? Wait.
Yeah, I'm not into zombies.
Yeah, but it's not just zombies, though. It's a pandemic. It's the whole idea.
I'm not an apocalyptical man or a post-apocalyptic, any of that stuff. It doesn't work for me. I don't know why. Yeah, it's just not my jam. The pagan loves it. She
but
puts
you know
that
how
stuff
great
on all the time.
I mean, Todd's right. He's one of the great directors of our time.
I get it. Yeah,
he's an amazing filmmaker.
I am not saying that at all. I'll see other films of his and love them. This topic I'm not into. Doesn't work for me.
VG, man.
I gotta catch
Doesn't
up.
like
man.
movies.
I gotta catch up on Love Island.
He
I'm
really
like
just
12
Love
episodes
Island.
behind.
He's
I'm
talking
12
about Love
episodes
Island
behind.
after we're talking about a great film.
Yeah. No, that's where you got him beat.
Yeah.
You appreciate cinema.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to see this movie. I'm excited.
Yeah. You know I give you credit with your cinema, television. You have an open mind.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
VG Love Island.
VG's got you on music and sports.
Yeah.
Big Brother starts July 10th, in case you're interested.
Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of that show.
All right, forget him. What else we got? My boy?
I'm going to work. I know. We got lots of primetime baseball and even a basketball game 7 on Sunday. So I know there's not a lot of time this weekend. But if you want a show to watch with the family, my wife, daughter, and I are loving this series on Netflix called The Residence. Oh my God, is it good? It is a classic murder mystery, kind of a comedy murder mystery.
I love it.
It's all set in the White House. And there's like the head usher is found dead in the White House. Amazing cast, by the way. And the filmmakers built the most elaborate and detailed set of the White House that's ever been made, with rooms that you've never seen before
That's fantastic.
or have heard about. It's so big and intricate that it stretches over 7 sound stages. 7 sound stages.
Yeah, I love it.
It's great.
Incredible.
8-part Netflix series. Each episode's an hour to an hour and 15 minutes or so.
Oh, I'm in on that.
Great
I can watch that
murder
with the
mystery.
kids. Yeah, like the kids are like that.
My daughter's loving it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great rec. I'm in
And
on
it's
that.
got big cast.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's a great rec. I love that.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then we got a couple other things. People are telling me I need to check out the new movie on Apple called Echo Valley. That's out now with Julianne Moore and Sydney Sweeney. It's a situation. It looks like it's like Sydney Sweeney kills her boyfriend and the mother tries to cover it up or something like that. People tell me it's a great movie though.
Yeah, somebody else told me about that. Said it was really good too.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
I'm trying to think what series. Anything else series wise?
I'm going to try out.
2 is out. I mean, there's a bunch of local people in that.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know what? It's really good, actually. I think the second season of Tires is way better than the first.
Yeah.
Especially the second half, and I'll tell you why it's great. It's well written, of course. It's funny, but Thomas Hayden Church is in it.
I love him.
That guy,
he's
dude,
the best. He's the greatest. I love that guy.
He is the greatest character on this show. He plays Shane Gillis's father. Dude, I'm dying.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
I love
that,
him.
and then
I just see his face. He makes me laugh. He entertains me.
Yeah. From Sideways to God is so good. And Frasier, there's a series that you and I will probably like. We'll need to check it out and see if we like it. It's called Revival, and it's on Sci-Fi Channel streaming, maybe streaming on Hulu or one of those. But it's one of these series I think you and I are going to like because it's like, all these people disappear from a town and then they show up.
Ooh.
Like everyone thinks they're dead, but they show up.
Yeah.
They show up and like nothing's changed and everyone's creeped out.
Yeah.
I heard it's really good.
I'm in on that. Yeah, I'm in on that
like
as
that
well.
stuff.
Yeah,
Now,
that
see,
sounds
I'll
good.
watch that because they're zombies basically, but they don't look like zombies. They look like how
No.
they looked before they
they're
disappeared.
not zombies.
They're dead.
Well, it's like that.
They
What
come back.
was that show on HBO? I loved it. It was awesome. Where
Walking Dead?
No, it was
HBO.
It was like the Rapture. Like people disappeared.
Oh, what was the name of that show? They were on a flight, right? It was a plane, and then like something on the plane happens, and they land, and
they
Lost?
No,
not Lost.
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
The Leftovers.
The Leftovers.
Yes.
Oh, that show was good. I liked that. I thought that they could have went even deeper with that. I love that show.
That's a great show. Carrie Coon, Justin Theroux.
Yeah.
And Margaret Qualley was in that. That
Yeah.
was a great that's one of those shows that was so critically acclaimed, but just couldn't find a big audience.
Remember the smoking people?
Oh, yeah.
Those people. That was creepy. Like they were just oh my God.
Yeah, yep.
Let me ask you, Todd. I mean, I see this comes up on my feed. Trainwreck, the Poop Cruise documentary. You watch this? Know anything about it?
No, tell me.
Yeah, it's about. Do you remember
Way to
the
derail the
2013
conversation?
Carnival
We
cruise
got
ship?
Romano's Pierce from Bowling.
Trainwreck.
The poop cruise.
The Carnival cruise ship that got stuck, and the bathrooms weren't working. There was some disease going around, and they were pooping everywhere. Well, yeah, it's a new documentary out this week, man. People were saying it's true.
All right.
God, you're killing my boy.
What?
You're
What are you
killing
talking
my
about?
boy. What are you
Listen,
doing to him?
our crew, like I know in the chat, they're poop cruise market. I gotta give them the heads up if it's worth a watch or not. I know they want to watch the poop cruise.
Come on, bro.
Come on, dude.
My God, dude. I got a couple snippets of the prequel to Gamora.
Yeah.
Dude, it looks so good.
Yeah. That's
Don-
another one that they filmed. They filmed another season after that, so it's going to be great.
Dude, Don P. in Naples, 1970. Dude, I'm dying.
Yeah, that's right up your alley, man.
Oh God, yeah, it's great stuff. There was a show I can't freaking get it. I got that Italian VPN, right, to try to watch this show.
Oh, it says you're in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tried to get this show, and I got some weird channel.
Doesn't work on Sundays.
I got some weird. It's about these gangsters in the 70s, and it's the Vatican. It's an Italian. It's things unbelievable, right? It's a great story. But I got like 2 episodes, and there was commercials on it, and like it was impossible to watch. I saw like 2 episodes. I'm like, I'm dying to see the show, and I can't find it. I can't remember the name of it, and it was like brilliant. Like it was like these dudes where it's like thieves. They get involved with like mob dudes, and then the Vatican, and it was nuts. It was like in the 70s. It was good stuff. Anyway,
I remember you telling me about that. I don't think we could find that one.
no, we could find. I go to my source, and I'm like, dude, I gotta find this show. He had no idea.
No,
what are you
idea.
hearing about F1? Is that out this week or on Monday with Brad Pitt?
I mean, it's one of those films. It's so heavily promoted. My God, if you go to the theaters, it's like every third trailer, and then Apple TV is promoting it. I don't know. It looks. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be good if you like that world, the F1 world. It does look like one of those big summer blockbuster type movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're trying to get that. But listen, F1 has a massive audience, so I think that movie is going to do great.
There's a big
I'm a Brad Pitt fan, but I don't know. I don't love I like him as like a side guy, not the main dude.
He's the greatest supporting actor ever.
Yes.
But he's not the lead.
I don't like him as
I
the lead.
agree. He's an incredible supporting actor.
Yes.
Have you ever seen Bullet Train?
Yes.
I love him in that movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie. It was fun.
But
there was like 2. It wasn't him. There was him and another guy.
He works better as this is why the Clooney stuff. Clooney could be the lead guy.
Yes.
And Pitt steals the show.
Yes, and the last Tarantino, the Hollywood story
Right.
with Leo.
Right.
Was the lead guy.
Right.
And Pitt's the cool sidekick.
What's Leo doing? He's still one of my favorites, Leo.
He's got some scores. He's working on some more Scorsese movies that are going to be coming out.
Yeah, I'm a huge Leo fan. He's out of his mind, but I'm a huge Leo fan.
Yeah, there is like
Leo's great.
Leo's an all timer.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's great. In F1, Brad Pitt does have a co-star that's really good. His name is Damson Idris, and he was the star of Snowfall. And your audience may remember Snowfall. I think is one of the greatest series ever made. It's on FX.
Yeah,
and he was the star. He was the star of it.
Yeah. No, dude, that's what a premise of that. That whole CIA and crack like that. That's
real.
Yeah.
Freeway. It's based on Freeway Rick Ross.
Yeah. It's awesome. Great stuff. My brother, great man. I can go all day. I didn't realize it's 11:45.
I'm gonna come down. And see you at the desk next Friday.
Right. Are you? What are you doing? You around later?
Today, yeah, I should be around later today.
All right. Let's catch up.
Give me a shout. Okay, man.
All right, brother. Todd.
Have a great weekend.
See you guys. Go Phils.
Go Phils. Go Phils. That's right. What a fun day.
Yeah.
Flew by. That Stromboli's were outrageous.
Oh, legit.
They brought pizza over as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That was good pizza.
Pizza was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. I mean, the Bowie's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The Bowie chip tastes like it's amazing.
It's weird.
We're Hearst fans.
They captured the flavor.
Yeah. How do you capture the flavor in a chip?
I don't know, but it's
like
bizarre,
that's where
but
Hearst
really
is
good.
We're a big Hearst
they got
family.
These food scientists, and they can mix flavors together.
I know.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, that's going to do it for us. What did we say? Sweet?
Sweep.
Yeah, let's go. Sweep. Start off the night.
Bleep the Mets.
Bleep the Mets. Bleep the Mets.
That's right. I like it.
Everybody
Everybody have a great weekend, man. We love you. All right, be careful. Let's drink some beers.
All right.
See you tomorrow or Monday.
We all silly like the mayor.